Ladies and gentlemen and in-betweeners, I'm your host, Alexander Rodriguez, here with On the Rocks radio show, Sorry Antonio, where celebrities and cocktails mix tonight. We have a really big show for you with actor Antonio Yamarillo from FX's hottest new show, Mayans MC, who also heated up the screen with J-Lo in Shades of Blue, by the way. Yes, sir. We have actress Jennifer Cheon is here from Sci-Fi's Van Helsing, season 3 now playing, by the way. Special FX makeup guru, the DIY guy himself, Kevin Molnar, is here, and my guest co-host, MC extraordinaire, Every Man, will be helping me out tonight. Are you ready? So raise a glass and let the show begin.
Cheers.
Thank you for being
Boulevard.
Life is a banquet, and most poor suckers are starving to death.
I'd like to propose a toast.
This is On the Rocks with Alexander, coming at you from Sunset Gower Studios in the heart of Hollywood, where I drink with your favorite celebrities and we talk about fashion, entertainment, pop culture, reality TV, and that's about it. So pop a cork, pour a glass, lean back, and enjoy On the Rocks every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network.
Fasten your seatbelts. It's going to be a bumpy night.
Oh, it's going to be a bumpy night. I hope there's no bumps on the road for our motorcycles. Buns and bows and pantyhose on the rocks, where we're too glam to give a damn. My favorite hobby is waiting for somebody to stop calling so I can text them to say, what do you want?
You know? And then you end up going like this.
Right?
If
And
you
it's like,
hit decline, then they
they
know.
know.
Except for you, Mama. I always.
Wait,
Get that random custom
Wait, they know what?
text
What did you
option.
say? They know what? When
yeah.
you decline?
Yeah, it's like
No,
shut
they
something
know.
like, your call has been, go to voicemail, meaning
There's got to
decline.
be enough rings.
Yeah.
Dis.
But it's funny, we spend how much
Digital
money on
disc.
our phone to not talk on it?
Right?
Hello. Sorry, Alexander
No,
Graham Bell.
it's not to not talk on the phone. It's to not talk to people.
Right. Yeah, I'll call and order stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Online
But
shopping.
will
Yes.
you? Because now there's all these apps. And
yeah,
they
I mean, I
find
really
you.
hate people. I'm in the right business, right? Thank you to our sober listeners for tuning in. We love you. Thank you for holding our hair back and driving us home. Drunk texting is literally the only sport I'm good at. We have to talk about something very serious. We're in Halloween season. Hocus Pocus, I'm going to go on record. This movie sucks.
What?
What?
You are not saying
Okay,
that. You're just
yes.
saying that for
No.
You know that
reaction.
Jennifer's in that movie, right?
No.
She's in the Hocus Pocus
Do I
movie.
look that
She's
old?
too young, girl.
Oh, wait. Is that
They
not
just
a new-
celebrated
I thought
the
it was a
20th
new movie. I'm sorry.
Yes, no.
Is that not a new release?
It's the 25th anniversary is this week.
Shit. I'm
Bette
so sorry. I thought it was
Midler.
like a new release. I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'm
All
not
day.
Bette Midler, Kathy Najimy, Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, but when you were 2 years
Carmine
old, you were in the
Crosby.
movie.
Yeah.
Kathy and Jimmy too.
I love Kathy Najimy. Okay, but everybody rallies around this movie just like A Star is Born. The movie is not good.
Sister Act 2
Star
is
Born
better.
is not good.
No. Sorry, Gaga.
You know what?
And I'm having my card taken back for that one.
Yeah, you
Well, the one with Barbara Streisand is good. The one,
Yeah, and then
Chris
with-
Christopherson. Or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That one is really good.
It is good, but the one
doesn't make
with
the new
Lady
one good,
Gaga
really.
and Bradley Cooper, not
I
good.
like how I'm nodding like I've seen that one. I'm like, yeah.
No, that one's
so
really good. That one's really
No, it
good.
is good.
They've done it 4 times. You know, this is the
Yeah.
fourth
This is what
incarnation.
I heard, and
Yes.
it's very sad.
After Barbara Streisand, they should have stopped. That's it. That one's good.
Well,
You know
after
what?
Judy
Think a lot
Garland, I
of
was like, okay,
reboots
let's
should've
let
stopped.
one more go by. Yes.
They should have
Thank
done one
you.
with
A
the
lot
cast
of
of Hocus
reboots needed
Pocus.
to just-
A whole remake of Star is Born with the whole cast of Hocus Pocus.
That's
I think.
funny. Kathy Najimy is this like drunken, drugged out witch. I love it. Some music. They were supposed to do a sequel to Hocus Pocus. You guys, the movie, if you actually watch it, like, okay, I'm
It's
really going to get some hate for this.
whatever.
Star Wars, we all love the Star Wars franchise, but if you sit and watch the original Star Wars, you're like, it's kind of boring.
Well, not at that
I
time.
don't-
Not
yeah.
at that
That's
time
exactly what
because
I'm
of the
saying.
technology at
And
that
I
time.
still like
Yeah.
it better
That's
than
rough
the
water
ones
for
that
me.
are out now.
You do.
Yeah, and even like I appreciate that there was a girl Jedi and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
like, okay,
Well, 'cause you
spoiler
know girls
alert,
kick ass.
how the hell is she gonna beat Kylo Ren and she's got no training?
Nope.
Like,
Hollywood, baby.
I love Star Wars. I'm wearing a Chewbacca pinky ring.
Oh, you do love Star Wars.
I really
Oh,
love.
wow.
I really love Star Wars. So
Oh my God, I can't do that. I can't. So, Antonio, don't yell at me. I'm the worst
Wow.
Mexican because I cannot roll my R's and I can't
No,
do that.
I realized when you said my last name, you have to be the worst fucking Mexican because you said what? Antonio, what?
I
Yada
can roll my
mio.
R's because I'm a Jew.
Jada, what?
Yada mio.
No, it's Jackson. What is your problem?
Jackson.
You guys, I'm the worst Latino. I can't even
There
order
you
Del
go.
Taco. They're like, what are you saying? I'm like, combo burrito. I'm a
Or
Twinkie. I'm white on the
flavor.
inside, brown on the outside. But we're changing this. We're going to talk about culture and Hollywood tonight. Okay. Anyway, hello to our listeners around the nation on iHeartRadio, Universal Broadcasting Network, Player FM, Stitcher, TuneIn, Satchel, iTunes, Google Play, and Spotify. Of course, we are on Facebook Live, on Trendy Now,
We are?
nationwide. Yes, we are.
Is this on right here?
Yes, it's all on.
What up,
Hello,
It's
Zuckerberg?
on.
Wait, all I see is your face.
Well, that's all you need to,
Let it
Antonio.
show.
Yeah.
See, you're right
Okay.
there.
Antonio Jackson,
that
that's
one?
all we need to
That's all
see.
we
It is
need.
right here.
Because I was just seeing your face on
Yes.
like Facebook Live for you.
My name's on the
And
marquee.
your
It's
parents,
fine.
your parents back in Arizona or something? What?
It's if there's an accidental rack
Arizona?
focus. If there's an
Yo soy de
accidental
España. Okay.
Oh,
rack
España.
focus,
Oh,
you get
perdón.
them there too.
Perdóname.
Let's go have some paella. Okay, True FM in Ohio, nationally and on the Rocks, Universal Broadcasting Network, of course, on Bear World Magazine. Roar. Check out my weekly Bear World Magazine interviews, movie news, and celebrity news. This week I chat about Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is back on track, if anybody cared, but it's back on track. The Conjuring leads... Yeah, huh?
What? There's a third one?
Is it like
Wait, did
Groot-
that one
Groot
already
goes
come
through
out?
No,
puberty?
it's been postponed because they fired the director. Disney fired the director for
Wait.
a tweet he sent
shit.
7 years ago.
Oh my God! Let me delete all my tweets. Hold
that
on.
one.
I'm gonna
I think
have
it's
to
more
delete
than
all my
tweets you need to
Right?
delete.
Last week.
Yeah. You need to delete your Snapchat,
Filter.
your MySpace.
You have a
need
moment.
to delete all of
I
that.
don't even have none of that stuff. I don't know what that is. I
You
have
gotta
a
be
VCR
careful what
at
you
home.
tweet unless you're the president. Other than that, you're fine.
Right.
This
I still have
technology is
a
leaving me
DVD
behind.
player.
Oh, DVD? No, I have VCR.
You
I
have
need,
VCR?
I need the other tapes.
At my parents' place, we still have a
Ooh,
VCR.
I go to your parents and hang
Still
out.
record shows on VHS.
Yes, do you remember
yeah.
that?
Yeah.
And you would have to take out that little tab.
That's awesome. Yeah,
Right?
flip it out.
Because
Yeah.
you
And
know
you could
her
like set
PVR
the
gets so
like
full and she
SLP
can't
super
delete
long play.
anything.
Super
what?
long play?
You could like set the cassette for the VHS for like 2 hours.
Oh,
or
that's right, or the 6
SLP, so
hours.
it's like 6 to 8
Oh my God, what a
hours.
blast from the
The
past.
same movie, 2
The
hours
same
or 6
VHS.
hours.
Yeah. You could set the speed so it records it
So
records
they
slower.
speak slower.
Get that
Yeah.
So it's like in slow motion.
Old school. No,
Wow,
it's regular
that's great.
motion. It's just the way
But
the
the
actual
quality-
reel is recording.
And it's the quality,
Yeah,
too.
the quality,
It's
the
less.
actual video
Oh,
quality is not as
recording,
good.
but not playing.
Yes.
No, you
Not
could play
playing.
you could play it back either way. I'm just saying it records it, but it just takes a longer time because you set it on the VHS on the actual VHS player.
I think we just lost our listeners.
This is so old school.
Yeah, let's go back to
Yes, okay.
Kids are
DVR.
like,
Let's talk
what
about
are they
8 tracks.
talking
Yes.
about?
Hey, my mom actually had an 8-track. Okay, also, final Bear World magazine news that you should check out. Chris Pine is going full frontal in his next film. Before everybody gets all excited, he's using it as a statement to say, why is this a big deal when women are objectified and put naked in every single film?
I think
He's
he
doing
just wanted
what?
to show his
He's
junk.
going full frontal. I don't know. I think the cast of Mayans
I
should
think-
go full
And
frontal.
what, his next Disney
I
movie?
wouldn't
What?
be able-
No, he's doing a dramatic movie and he has to take his pants off.
Is it like required in
wow.
contracts there has to be the same amount of penis as vagina or boobs?
I go
In-
full frontal on every job I have, but they don't record
They
it.
don't use it all the
It's in the
time.
DVD
It
extras.
gets
It's in the SPL extras.
it becomes part of the
Yeah.
bloopers. Yeah,
Yes.
they're like, oh, damn.
Is it a
Yeah.
blooper,
He
Antonio?
insists not to wear his pants.
Yeah, they're like, Antonio, please pull up your pants.
I'm
It's a
telling
comedy.
you, Mayans is the best show for everything you want for whatever side of the fence you're on. Whew. Okay, I like Mayans.
One of my best friends used to shoot all the bumpers for Sons of Anarchy. He's in the DGA. He's a
Really?
first AD. Yeah,
Awesome.
and he joined SAG just to they needed some more guys on motorcycles, and he's already in a motorcycle club, so they had him be on the show.
Sons of Anarchy is such a small world of
Yeah.
so many celebrities. Kurt Yeager, who's on the show, often was on Sons of Anarchy, and directors and writers and everything has kind of spun off from Sons of
I
Anarchy.
cannot
And
wait
now,
to get
Shout
into
out-
your show.
oh, you have
haven't
to.
seen
I
It's only
haven't
10
seen
episodes.
the reboot yet.
We're on
It's
the
only 10
fourth
episodes.
season,
I
woman.
know.
No, it's not.
My God. We've
Shut
been
up.
nominated
Would
for
you like
6
a drink?
Emmys.
Oy vey.
And the last week's episode, it ends with you getting in some hot water.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to see where that
Tonight's
goes
going to be
tonight.
very exciting. Whoever's watching tonight as you're listening to this, tonight's episode is very exciting. Get yourself a drink because it's going to get messy.
It's a
Well-
boiler alert.
Boiler.
Boiler alert.
Well, it kind of isn't a boiler.
hot.
But there's only 10 episodes, and we're already on episode 8 tonight.
Yes.
Like,
yes,
what-
On episode 12 is when the shit hits the fan.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah. Did I lose anybody on that one?
It's the language barrier.
Yeah, I think so.
For our audio listeners, you can check out the video stream on Facebook, YouTube, and of course the Now Trending app. You can download for free and see all of our streaming video. My mom, Mama Rose, is in the chat room on ubnradio.com and Facebook. Ask her your questions. She'll answer it. If it's a burning question, she will interrupt the show. Please keep keep her busy. She's next to a bottle of vodka, and I don't need her Amazoning Prime again so close to the holidays. It's like, how many sweaters do I need? Hello to our engineer, Kurt. Thank you so much for dressing up, as usual.
Of course, anytime.
Oh, God. Straight people in Hollywood. I don't even know. Do you have a pun for us?
I always have a pun.
Okay, hurry up.
Did you know dogs can't do MRIs?
Because they're averted to CAT scans or something like that.
But cats can. Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna
we have a
be
button
sent
for
to the
that.
penitentiary
I'm so
for
sorry.
that one.
Antonio's at her. He's like flipping the table. He's gonna like.
He's punishing us all.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Thank you so much, Kurt, for your contribution.
Anytime.
He's been with me since day one, by the way.
The Punisher.
That's why we keep him. Yep.
And this is what, your second week?
4th year, girl.
Oh my
Boom, boom.
God! Whoa, whoa!
Did I just say girl to Mayan's MC?
You did. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That's
you did.
how open
Yeah,
this
you
show
did.
is. Everybody is welcome at my table.
He was AOL
know what,
pun
girl?
room pundit number 1, punishing all.
What? Let's get a dictionary over here. What?
The Punisher. Thank you. All right.
Oh God!
All right. We're gonna be friends.
Every
I think.
man. Your puns are not for every man. I will tell you that much.
Have we started the
They're
show?
for every
I
dad.
mean, what is this? Is this a warm up?
It's called banter.
Can we start?
Are you going to do this to Jay Leno? Or he's not even around anymore. Well, that was a weird
Ooh, you
slip.
just ate
No.
yourself.
did.
J Lo and Jay Leno.
Actually, I'm more
On
of
the
a
same
David.
sh-
I'm more of a David Letterman guy, but Jay Leno was cool.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
David Letterman was my dude.
Yeah, David Letterman had a little bit of
Yeah.
edge to him. Jay Leno was like everybody's friend. And
Yeah.
it's like, no. Like us on Twitter and Instagram at On The Rocks On Air, Facebook On The Rocks Radio Show, subscribe to us on YouTube, find us on the web at ontherocksradioshow.com, send me an email, book me for a wedding, funeral, quinceanera, bris, I don't care, I will be there, info at ontherocksradioshow.com. Glitter Bomb, my new national TV talk show, Glitter Bomb, is currently broadcasting to over 22 million homes. We were covered in People Magazine, and we were talked about on New Now Next as one of the checkout shows for fall. Tune in every Thursday at 7 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's the first ever Latinx LGBT nationwide programming. We're very proud of it. Go to latv.com/schedule to find out what channel we are on in your city. This last week, we had our New York Fashion Week special. I'm surprised they had all that footage they could use because things got crazy.
If you need Briss info, just holler at me.
Yeah.
I'm the.
Are you like the master brisser?
I know a guy. I'm the. I am a Jewish rapper in Hollywood, so we know a lot of rabbis.
I feel like you should
and
have a
loyals.
Let's hear
sitcom like
some
around
flow.
you.
Well,
like reading your resume and like
Oh,
seeing your
thanks.
pictures, you need to have like a sitcom.
Hey.
The Jewish rapper.
Holler at me.
Yeah.
Chala.
Oh, I was gonna go there.
no drum there. No.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you very much.
Oh, there you go. Thank you. All
There
right,
you
cool.
go.
It was a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for the love. Thanks for the invitation.
You're
See you
done?
next week. Yep.
Really?
Just that's it.
Hey.
How are you getting home? Just kidding.
Lock the gates. Oh, they wouldn't let you in the
Oh,
gates.
they wouldn't let me in the
They wouldn't let any of us in.
They put up a wall and they said.
Well, you know. Walls are creeping up everywhere.
whose fault
Anyway,
that is.
come hang out with On The Rocks on the road. I am the MC for Palm Springs Pride again this year on the main stage. First weekend of November. Make your travel plans. Come see me. Plan ahead. It's one of my favorite prides. It's so inclusive. Open up to everybody. And you're going to see some celebrities that have been on The Rocks will be joining me on stage throughout the weekend. Go to palmspringspride.org for more information. I'm kicking it off the Friday before Pride at Hotel Zozo for a pool party. MJ from Shaws of Sunset is joining me, and Craig Ramsey from Bravo TV's Newlyweds. It's going to be fun. Let me introduce my bestie for tonight, paying tribute to musical heroes such as progressive hip-hop acts like A Tribe Called Quest and the raw energy of the Beastie Boys. Every man's original rhymes and infectious energy will excite. Making his debut at the King in Hollywood, he wowed audience with his seamless ability to freestyle over an assortment of different music genres, from classic drum and bass to booming break beats and dubstep. And I'm telling you, when you look at, listen to your tracks, it's like you have musical schizophrenia.
Oh, thanks, brother. Thanks. Yeah, that's I feel that way sometimes. That was a long time ago. The King thing. That was, you found an old bio there, but that's true. My buddy Baker Wiles, who's an actor in LA, he and I started throwing these underground parties after our friends who threw these parties called the Good Vibe over here at King. And that ended and turned into the Dirty Beatles crew, and started throwing a party called Boogaloo Art Car Music Festival, which is like a mini local underground Burning Man that's for this art and music scene in LA. So we have a big Burning Man camp that we throw there, and our art car's name is Boogaloo. She's an old 81 International airliner short bus that we
Google it, by the way.
My buddies cut the roof off, and they all raised it, and we helped deck it out, and they designed this amazing bus. It looks like a dung beetle, but it's all like neon with all these lights. And we throw this Art Car Music Festival in Irvine. We're moving the location, but we're going to be doing stuff at One Love Festival next weekend, the same weekend as Pride. So if you go to Pride and you feel like checking out another festival after Pride, you can go up there.
You
I'll
do
be dead after
quinceañeras? You do quinceañeras?
We'll do quinceañeras.
Jewish,
Okay,
only
but-
Jewish
Yeah, for sure.
quinceañeras, though.
Oh, Jewish quinceañeras.
What food would they serve at a Jewish quinceañera?
Bagel
Kosher tacos.
quesadillas.
Yes.
Bagel quesadillas.
quesadillas.
Oh, is the bagel inside
It's like
the
a quesadilla with like
quesadilla
smoked
wrapped around the
salmon.
bagel?
It's like a it's like a Philly roll.
Yeah.
Like a Philly roll is basically just a kosher.
And gefilte fish
it's
enchiladas.
it's like a sushi for Jews. It's sushi for Jews. Yeah. Every culture.
Sushi for Jews.
Every culture has their thing with bread and cheese. You know, like you guys have tacos, or quesadillas. We have bagels and cream cheese. Italians have pizza.
Yeah.
You know, the Greeks have their gyros. You know, so it's like everyone loves bread and cheese. You can't fuck with it.
Carbs make the world go round. That's
It's
why
the
everybody in
best.
Hollywood, everybody in Hollywood's in a bad mood because they can't eat carbs.
Even people
That's
who
why I like
hate
doing radio. I can eat all the carbs I want.
vegans still love cheese. That's why there's vegan cheese.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, but that's not cheese.
Made out of
Well,
what?
right, but they're like,
Vegan
I-
cheese?
that's what
I can't eat animal products, but I still want cheese.
Oh, come
So
on.
they like cheese.
Or
They
like
just don't want animal
tofurkey.
products.
And no offense to our vegetarian and vegan
It's
listeners, I know we have a
ridiculous.
lot.
I
but
understand
it's
not
like-
eating meat and chicken, but come on.
I love it.
Cheese? Don't fuck with it.
It
Eat
fucks
the
with
fucking
it.
cheese.
It-
Shut
I
the
know,
fuck
it's
up.
like,
I
I'm
love it.
sorry if there's
And
kids
then-
around and I just said bad words. Just eat the fucking cheese, all right?
that's $20
show's-
already.
the show's getting pretty
Did you bring your
cheesy right
debit
now.
card? Like,
You serve alcohol here. What am I supposed to do?
Show is getting cheesy as
We've
fuck.
been here
Oh,
45 minutes.
oh God. Kurt, I want you to play some video from Everyman's events.
Video, we're on the radio. What the hell?
The
It's
video
video
killed
as well.
the radio
Yeah,
star.
yeah.
Oh, we get to see it. Oh.
Yeah. So go ahead and play some of his video, but I want to know what artist like inspired you? Like, what are some of the first artists you remember listening to?
Well, definitely Beastie Boys, 100%.
I can't believe.
Shout out,
Gwen
rest in
Stefani?
peace, MCA.
So I grew up in Orange County with Gwen Stefani. And little story, I did a show for a whole year at the Roxy in Hollywood.
Yeah.
We were doing a family series Saturday and Sunday during the day at the Roxy. Didn't even make sense. We were doing You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown for a whole year, and it was like multicultural casting. So I was
Yeah.
Charlie Brown. Like No Doubt was one of the bands that came in as we were loading out, and she was like, "Oh, I love Snoopy," and we're like, "Who are these freaks?" And then a year later, we're like, "Oh."
And then you're like, oh,
That's who
Joe
they
Yes,
Freak.
and I'm
That's
in my
who they
studio
are.
apartment. Meh.
One of my first jobs in Hollywood
It's
was
like, shit, I
background
never
on
called her.
Gilmore
Yeah.
Girls with Gwen Stefani playing in, like one episode she played in some like underground
Yeah.
club. They
Yeah,
shot
yeah,
they
yeah,
shot
yeah.
it in the
Oh
basement
my
of American
gosh.
Apparel downtown.
Oh, that's so
They made it
funny.
look like an 80s rock like club, but
She's awesome.
No
She's
Doubt
so
played.
good.
It was
She's
so cool.
She is awesome.
Yeah.
Except, why is she dating Blake and Gavin? Come on, how can you
Wait,
compete with
is
Gavin?
she the one dating the
Blake
country
Shelton.
guy?
Yeah.
The tall one.
Oh, he's
Wait,
very
what?
funny though.
I didn't
he's
know
very
that.
charming.
He's very funny.
He's very
Way
look,
out of the
humor
loop.
goes a long way.
Yeah,
Yes,
you're-
it does.
you know-
Hello.
So you know, hey,
hello.
Boom, boom, boom.
Hey.
but wasn't he married to a country star and he left her for her? Is that the deal?
Oh, it was drama.
Yeah, there was major
All the
drama.
way.
Things we-
Yeah,
Major,
when they were
major
turning their
drama.
chairs around, they should have kept turning them around because there was something happening.
man.
Yeah, but when did you know that you could do this for a full-time living?
You know, when I first started, I went to theater school in New York. I went to school at Manhattanville College in
You
Purchase.
did?
Yeah, and then
crazy.
I graduated with a degree in acting and sociology and anthropology, and then started a theater company in Brooklyn. We did a lot of off Broadway, like avant-garde experimental theater. Then I got a part on a TV show thanks to Nick Kroll, the comedian. His first cousin was my best friend and roommate in college, and a group of 5 of us we called the 2KC was the not knowing crew. And I did improv, and my buddy from Italy needed a rap buddy. He was like, "You can do improv. I need you to freestyle with me." I have no buddies. He was from here in LA, but grew up in Milan. His name was Dropaflow, my buddy Jacopo. And so basically, I got this job as an extra on the show Cavemen and moved out here, and Nick got me into SAG that way. And then later, my girlfriend at the time brought me to my first Burning Man and kind of fused my love of acting and my love of performance together and realized I could create my own art. And I didn't need to. I was really sick of auditioning all the time in the rat race in Hollywood. And I got really down on myself for not booking gigs because I knew that I was talented. But I just, none of the casting directors saw what they needed in me.
Welcome to Hollywood.
You know, exactly. Welcome to fucking Hollywood.
Yeah, Meryl Streep probably wouldn't get
everyone
work today.
You have to come here to experience it for yourself to really understand it, you know? So I luckily met these amazing people at Burning Man and realized that I could, you know, do what I wanted with my art. And I always loved hip hop from a very young age. I grew up in Portland, Maine, and I lost my mother when I was young. She was a performer. She wanted to go to NYU, and they didn't. My grandparents didn't support her being an actress. You know, very strict Jewish grandparents, and she got a full scholarship to Emerson College. They wouldn't let her go. She ended up going to Northeastern.
What do you mean you lost your mother? You went somewhere
She
and
was
you
14.
didn't find her?
No, I was 14. She passed
left
away.
you at the
She
mall?
passed away.
Oh, she passed
Yes,
away.
yes,
I said, you
yes.
lost your mom. Like, wait, went to the mall?
No,
She
no,
left you?
no. I wish that was the case.
Oh, passed away. I'm
Yeah, yeah.
sorry. I'm sorry.
No, thank
Oh,
you.
passed away. Okay.
But she taught me to never quit and do what you love, and always, you know, really do what you love in life and follow your passions. And
Well, and you've had to incorporate a lot of emotional ups and downs in your music. Your second album, Good Deeds, came out a year after you lost your best friend and creative partner.
yeah, my music partner Nick Alvarado, who actually this weekend we're doing our 3rd annual Pumpkin Ball, our annual charity. We started in his memory to give free arts and music to kids.
Love it.
So we're really, you know, we both really love kids, and the name of our group was Little Giants, our hip hop group that we had together. It was really about keeping that child inside of you alive and not forgetting that youthfulness and that playfulness that we all have inside of us. And, you know, the U.S. is really, you know, shitty. All of our money goes to the military, and none of it goes to keeping our kids creative and individuals and like-minded people. So we started this foundation to help kids in need and communities in need across the country, but starting here in California. And also we've done some events up in Canada, because I'm lucky that I have most of my fans are up there. I have a huge following up there.
Canada.
So yeah, so big ups to them. And
Oh, you're from
You
Canada,
love
aren't
it.
you from Canada?
Vancouver,
I have a
Canada.
couple fans over there too. I think 2 or 3.
they like
One
it.
is in Vancouver, another one in Toronto, and one in Quebec. I think I have 3.
3?
As far as
That's
I know.
good.
You
That's
better
That's
keep
fast.
good friends with them, because
I
we
don't
might
have
all
any.
have to move to Canada.
They're listening right now to my 3 fans in Canada. How are you?
Yes. We might need to move in, depending what happens with this nation.
They're really high right now. That's how they are. They're super
Dude, it
duper
just
great.
got legalized. marijuana.
So
But you actually brought us a treat.
I brought this cider. So this cider
Open mine right now.
is our official sponsor for the foundation. Shout out to Two Town Cider House. They're out of Oregon. My buddy Alex is their rep, and he's a big friend of Nick Alvarado Pumpkin,
Yeah.
my partner who passed away. And so
That's good.
after losing a creative partner, I didn't know what to do. You know, I was super depressed, and you know, I miss him to death every day. But I wanted to do something to keep his memory alive and his music alive. He had never released any of it, so I started Little Giant Acorn Records, which is our charity record label. I set it up like Paul Newman's, like Newman's Own. So 100%, his is 100% of his money goes to feeding kids who are hungry. And 100% of our money goes to feeding kids who are hungry for arts and music and
I love it.
who need it. So if you stream our music on Spotify,
Talking to this guy, like, what the fuck am I doing with
iTunes,
my life?
Google Play.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get some nachos, please?
I'm selfish.
Well, come to our event October 27th. We have our 3rd annual Pumpkin Ball. It's Saturday from 12 to 5 is all for family.
This Saturday?
This Saturday, yep, right here in Mid-City.
You have to go.
Jefferson in
No,
La
no.
Brea area.
You need to show up on your motorcycle.
No, I
and,
think
like-
this is wonderful that
you
you
have-
do this because I grew up in an orphanage. So everything you're saying for kids, I
Yeah,
love
you
because
know.
I do anything for the kids.
That's
You know,
what's up.
Fuck the adults, but the kids.
yeah,
I
no,
like.
the
Yeah,
kids
right?
are. you
Once
know,
they grow up into
And
adults,
that's the
fuck
problem
them.
with
fuck 'em.
adults,
I
though, is
agree.
because they don't nourish that child's
That's the
side.
problem.
That's the
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah.
Well, and art so early. I know that you were inspired to become an actor by some of the great literature works and theater pieces.
Yes.
You know, can you imagine being introduced to that at a much younger age? And like that, it's so important to build our language skills, to improve our thought skills,
Yeah.
and to think bigger than outside than where we are right now.
100%.
Especially
Yeah.
as a child, because your immediate situation is everything.
And they're sponges then too. You know,
Yeah.
whatever their environment is going to dictate a lot of their future, unfortunately, and it can be fortunately, but right now it's unfortunately. You know, these
Yeah.
kids are suffering, and our media and our society is not nourishing that at all. It's creating these like machines and these sheep, and I want to help save these kids' minds because we're all individuals, but we're not being bred that way anymore. You know, it's kind of scary. The artist, even I'm not gonna. I could go off on it all night, but the artist basically it has this great deal of power. You know, we have these microphones in front of us. We have these stages that we perform on,
100%.
these musical outlets, and so we have the power to do good, or we have the power to use it for our own advantage and selfish reasons and to feed our egos. But if we,
What are we doing tonight? Are we doing the first or the second? of the two choices you just gave?
It's probably a little of both, but
Great.
yeah,
Perfect.
Yeah,
Okay, so it's a combination of the
balance.
two.
It's balance.
All right.
It's balance.
I
yeah.
just wanted to.
You just get. No,
Yeah.
I got it. I
Just
got it.
clarify the
L'chaim.
damn
I
thing.
like it.
Salute.
Are we here to help the children, or are we
Yeah.
here to just be
We are.
arrogant fools?
Well, come to the event on the 27th.
Give me the information. I
Yeah.
will do my best to
Yeah.
come. Of course.
And I'm actually going to see you talking about inclusivity and reaching out to families. Palm Springs
Pride,
Pride.
yeah.
This theme is so great. Instead of having a celebrity marshal, they're having 500 youth gathered together, and it's celebrating the youth. That's
beautiful.
And I love that the stage this year is such a mix of gay, straight, country music, any kind of genre, because that's what America really is, and we're being forced into our labels and our boxes in so many different ways.
That's what's funny because it's the biggest melting pot in the world.
Yes,
and
hello.
we're trying to like make it.
Look at this
like,
street.
look-
How many different restaurants are there of different ethnicity types? How many people are at this table right now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where we come from?
we're all one.
Yes.
It's really. It sounds cheesy, but it's true.
No, it is very
Most
true.
of the cliche shit is true.
We are the world.
There we go.
Come on, guys.
I know you sing a little bit.
Sorry, I'm just kidding. No. It's just that I love that you do all that stuff for the kids. Really, I mean,
We're
I
still
usu-
working
I
on it. We
usually-
haven't implemented as many programs as we want. Honestly, we need
I
more
think-
funding.
You're
Wait,
making a
because
start.
We're starting.
which
Yeah.
is
You
the
got to start
first
somewhere.
thing,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for joining
Thank
me.
you.
You are going to help me with tonight's festivities.
Yes, we
and
are.
As my
Let's talk
guest
about
co-host.
you guys now.
Well, let's get the show on the road. We have Kevin Molnar, the DIY guy, is our FX makeup artist and
Hi.
designer living and working in Philadelphia. He began special work
go.
on special effects years back because he was obsessed with beards but couldn't grow one. So he wanted to find out how to do this professionally. And he taught himself, and now he works with prosthetics. He works with special effects makeup.
Nice fangs, guys.
Yes, and he began to post his DIY FX makeup videos on social media. He's blown up on social media, and now it's his full-time job to do interior design and makeup. Hi, Kevin Molnar.
Hi, Kevin.
What's up?
Hi, Kevin. What's up?
Yo, Kev.
So this is part 2 of your 3-part series with us. Last week you taught us how to do a prosthetic nose. He did it in 5 minutes using products from his house, and it looks so good and so real.
Oh
5
my
minutes, you guys. Like, he
gosh.
literally had it done. What tip are you sharing for us this week for Halloween?
So I'm going to teach you guys how to do fake teeth, like vampire fangs.
Which is good.
That'll come in handy.
Now, I have to tell you, the price of vampire fangs has gone up ever since Interview with the Vampire went out. Now it's like 60 to 80 bucks.
I thought it was because of Twilight.
Well, probably whatever, but now it's like 60 to 80 bucks to buy
it's a lot.
vampire
It's a
teeth,
lot of
which is
Twilight's
ridiculous.
And you
crazy.
naturally have fangs.
Oh, thank you.
which is so.
Don't
no,
tell
I
it to
think
my
that's so-
orthodontist. I never wore my retainer.
I think no, neither did I.
Kevin, but
The
you're
cool thing
actually
about this
using...
is, I'm
yeah.
using actually things that you can get from the store, and it's all under $4.
I love it.
And I've been wearing them. I literally been wearing them for the last 2 hours just to show you guys. And they're easy to talk. They're easy to talk. You can drink.
Oh, thank God.
They're not good for kids. That's one thing I say.
They're not for kids.
Not for
Not
kids.
for kids.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah.
kids.
Sorry,
But,
they're not watching. Well, now they're not watching after Antonia's little
Oh, really? They're
Parents
gonna
are
blame it
like,
on
"Lick
me.
it."
colorful language. The moms are like, but we'll watch.
I dropped a
kids
bunch of
watching? Is there
F-bombs
actually
too.
kids
No,
watching?
no,
I'll
no,
take
no,
a lot
no.
of blame.
Because
for
I'll
that.
clean it up. I'll clean it up.
Totally
I
teasing
clean up my act. I
Antonio.
clean up my
We've had the
act.
shots with Sunset and Vanderpump Rules here. We're fine. So, wait, Kevin, what products did you use? Because you can just go to like Rite Aid and buy these products, right?
We can. You can go to pretty much any store. I'm using fake nails.
So, like the
Nice.
press-on nails.
They're just regular white nails.
That's
I got this for
impressive.
$1.
I get why
80 of
kids
them for
can't.
$1.
Okay.
Go to the dollar store if you're on a budget, and you get the. And then do you clip them or what?
We and then use Fixodent, which is denture cream, denture glue, pretty much.
I'll get some for my mom.
And all you do is just what I do is I clip the ends, and the longer they are, the faker they look. So I would do it very like short, sort of
Subtly.
like how short this one is,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
you can get them long. And you clip them to a point. Make sure the tip of it, where your gums are going to hit, make you round that off because it will cause you to bleed.
Right.
Because it is a sharp edge. So you just round that off,
So that should be like the cuticle part of it.
And then you
Right.
fix a dent and forget it.
and you fix it. And literally, it
Sorry.
stays on for a long time. It's awesome.
Oh man, thanks guys.
Holy crap!
What was that laugh
Yeah.
track for?
They're laughing because he says something funny.
It was-
He did?
Yeah.
Did I
Okay, he was
miss
just
it?
staring.
Did I miss it?
He was.
Ah,
You missed it.
Okay, I'll get it in writing. I'll get the notes later after the
Okay,
show.
we'll take. There's the.
Okay.
Now,
There'll be
Kevin,
excerpts.
how long do you have to let it sit before like?
Literally for just a minute, not even.
You
That's
just
so
like,
crazy
eh.
how
Put it
easy
on,
that
put
is.
it on, and literally just let it sit for about a minute. I would get a Q-tip and just wipe off the excess like that,
Mm-hmm.
and it stays in for a very long time.
Do you have to dry your tooth first? So that like that.
They say you should. I actually don't. I don't
Oh.
ever have a problem with it. I will brush my teeth before, just in case.
Thank God.
Well, that's smart.
Yes.
Your
Do you know what the
dentist will
most
appreciate
popular
that.
time is at the dentist? Tooth hurty.
Oh my God.
Do you have that button?
No, no.
Yeah.
Take your finger off that laughter button, Kurt. There's no more of that.
I love that.
Yes.
It was relevant.
So, Kevin, how busy are you during this season? Because not only do you do these great DIY videos that have gone viral, but everybody wants to hire you to come do their makeup.
Oh, it's crazy. It's insane right now.
Now, do you get time to focus on your own costume?
No, actually, I didn't go out at all. I did
Whoa.
11 people.
Wait,
in
that
2
was
days.
his
Is
work
that-
right
yeah.
there?
Yeah.
Line
That's
out
pretty
the door.
cool. Wow.
It was crazy.
And you guys, his whole
Awesome.
scheme is that it's stuff that you can do at home, and it's also, you know how there's a lot of DIY that they pose and it looks perfect, but they can't move?
look
This
at
is
that.
all 3D style type makeup.
Oh my
You
gosh.
did that?
Man.
Like, you can actually go out and use. I don't like when they can
He's the Vikings
Instagram.
guy.
Yes.
all that. Yeah.
Wow, you're
it's
very
crazy.
versatile.
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
Well, Kevin, thank you so much. Tell
amazing.
our viewers and listeners where they can find you and where they can see more of your tips for makeup ideas for next week.
Awesome. I would go to Kevin Molnar KI on Instagram, or you can go to the DIY guy on Facebook.
You guys, and he's so good, and his videos are so fun to watch, and there's stuff literally that you can rehearse and do at home for you, your family, your whatever. And Kevin, you're coming back next week, the night before Halloween, to give us your third and final segment idea.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you so much, Kevin. Now, go get some rest, because I know you've been busy doing interior design.
Kevy
All right.
Kev.
Thank you so much, guys.
Bye, Kevin. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks, Kev.
Yeah.
All right, let me formally introduce our guest. Jennifer Chion was born in Vancouver, Canada, and is of Mexican and Korean heritage. What happened at
You're
Thanksgiving?
Mexican?
I'm like a kimchi taco, man.
Oh, I like
That's
that.
so crazy.
Kimchi
I feel
taco.
sorry for anybody who
Can
has
I
to
get
date
two
you
kimchi
because there's
tacos
like
to go,
two
please?
fiery cultures. I
That's
mean,
amazing. How did that happen? Wait, was this on
Oh.
purpose? Your parents?
This was
Was it
actually.
an accident?
We're still trying to figure that out.
Yeah, are they together? Are they still married?
Worked
Oh,
out.
you know what? The one thing that they have in common is that a deal is a deal. And,
Oh, I like that.
They,
And there's
they
no
did
walking
it.
out.
They
Yeah.
didn't. They are not walking anywhere.
Wow. Okay, that's great. Well, they have a beautiful child. Is there other
Yeah.
There's
siblings?
3. I'm the youngest of 3.
really?
Girls, boys?
Yeah, 1 boy, 1, and then 2 girls. So it was my brother, my sister, then me.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
Jennifer's love for the spotlight was instilled at an early age, and she has so many different artistic talents, including dance, theater, music, visual arts, motion capture, which I love, which you've been able to use, and of course acting. Her modeling career carried her into the world of commercials. At 19, she landed a role in her first feature film entitled Eve and the Fire Horse. She found her true calling, and through hard work and persistence has landed a steady stream of roles. Most notable credits include Girlfriend's Guide to Divorce, Zoo, Minority Report, Arrow, of course Supernatural, The 100, Lucifer, and Travelers, among many, many others. In 2016, she won a Leo Award for Best Actress for her role in the critically acclaimed web series The Drive. She currently stars as Ivory, brought back for season 3, which we're going to talk about that, in the hit sci-fi series Van Helsing, currently broadcasting for its 3rd season. Of course, also starring one of the good friends of On the Rocks, Mr. Alex Ponovic. Welcome, Jennifer.
Yeah.
Thank you for having me, guys. Oh, that's a high.
Yes.
I like that.
Also joining us,
Wow.
Antonio, now seen on FX Mayans MC, the next chapter in Kurt Sutter's award-winning show Sons of Anarchy. The series debuted to 2.53 million as the current highest-rated show on FX.
Yeah.
Of course, we fell in love with Antonio on NBC's Shades of Blue, alongside, of course,
Que
J-Lo
guapo.
and Ray Liotta. TNT's Dallas. and those scenes are pretty
That was
intense.
awesome.
You're intense everywhere you go, even in here.
He's still Antonio from the block.
Yeah, that's right.
There you go.
I'm still Antonio from the block.
Hey,
Also,
no. I'm Jenny from the. I
there
gotta
we
have
go.
Okay,
that
that's right.
one.
That makes more
Where'd you
sense.
get all this stuff?
Wow,
that's
the
what we do here,
internet, man.
Antonio. Yes, we do a good job. Also, one of my favorite films.
sing?
Yes. Is that me?
Yes.
Oh.
Also, you guys, if you haven't seen Savages with Salma Hayek,
So good.
it's one of my favorite all-time movies.
Oh my God,
the
me
music is
too.
great. The cinematography is great.
my God, me
You
too.
can see Antonio in that. Other credits, of course, include Burn Notice and Lucifer. Lucifer's given a lot of work to a lot of different actors.
Hey, no
And now
pun
it's
intended.
here.
Huh?
It
Yes.
was in Vancouver, and now it's
Yeah,
here.
yeah.
Yeah.
As Antonio mentioned, he spent most of his time as a child in an orphanage in Tijuana, moved to San Diego as a teenager, also enjoys music, boxing, tennis, and spending quality time with children and working with charities that deal with children's issues. Having grown up in an orphanage, he's a strong advocate for children and childhood rights. Also, a watch enthusiast. That's just crazy.
I'm a watch geek, yeah. Yeah.
And you have this knowledge of the history of watches.
Watch out now.
And,
Yes.
and I mean, that's just
Wow.
crazy. Please welcome
Yes,
Antonio.
yes. Thank you.
Welcome.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
No, there's no.
Wait,
Watch out now. That's because I said watch out now.
is that the same crowd from Jennifer's? It sounded the same, kind of like.
Come on, guys. Let me hear it again for Antonio, real
Yeah,
loud.
Let
Let
me
me
hear,
hear
come on,
that.
let me hear it.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
yeah.
Done something, right?
I feel like Freddie Mercury now.
I have this. I got this question from our listeners in a variety of different ways. Now, Jennifer, for fans that are not that familiar with the behind the scenes of Van Helsing, season 2, when you finished, you actually filmed a whole alternative ending. You didn't
Yeah.
know which one they were going to use.
I
You
had
didn't
no
know
idea.
if you were going to come back for season 3.
No, well, the whole thing started because I was supposed to only do 2 episodes.
Yeah.
She was supposed to come in, have a nice little moment, and then, and then they didn't do that, and I lasted until the end of the season. And very nicely, they were like, "Okay, so now we got to kill you. Now it's now your time has come." And all things, how it goes. You
And
hope
then
for
it
the
didn't
best,
happen.
but
It didn't happen?
And it didn't happen. They wrote an alternate ending. We shot both endings, and it wasn't until Roland, who plays Scab, was doing ADR, and he just texted me, "We live," and then I just started screaming and jumping, and I was like, "I have a job still."
That's always a good thing.
employed,
Crazy.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No, and did you work with the writers about the development of Ivory? Because, like you said, season 2 was a couple of episodes. Did you work with them with story ideas, or were you a part of that creative process?
You talk a lot. The thing is, when you're a newbie on the show, you don't want to step on anyone's toes. I'm just happy to be there. I'm just
It's a
hoping
fine
maybe if I
line,
don't say
though,
anything
too.
and don't do anything, I might have a job. You don't want to step too much on people, especially when you're new to a show.
I'd order pizza for them and slip them a 20 every time I saw them. Like,
I already do that.
Pizza always wins.
Always.
always wins. Always. Even the
Lots of
vegan
friends.
with their fake
Real
cheese pizza.
cheese.
Now, Antonia, with Mayans, there are so many characters to the story. What I pride the show on is that it's so cohesive. When there's so many side stories, there's so many different personalities, and it's a short season, relatively short. Now, as one of the characters, I know last week's episode, I'm not going to give anything away. We ended on your moment, and I think tonight is a very big episode for
Yes,
your
it was a cliffhanger last
character.
week.
Yeah. So, are you able to work with the writers as well as to develop? How do they determine whose story gets?
I
highlighted?
sleep with all of them, with all the writers.
I did notice your jeans are very tight on the show.
Yes, that's on purpose. That's not an accident. I give them my size, and they buy me 2 sizes smaller.
And then they dry them.
Yes.
It's an ensemble cast, and so it takes time for certain characters to be developed. Like my character's taking time is a little slower
Yep.
than the others. But it's coming up. Like tonight's episode is very exciting.
I can't
and
wait to
people
go home and
watching right
watch
now.
it. Yeah.
There's some things that are gonna happen. They're gonna excite people, and other people are gonna get upset. I don't know, whatever. Just enjoy it, And thanks for the love and support, whoever's watching the show. And people are enjoying it. It's really awesome that so many people are into it. It's really cool, and being part of it. I mean, Kurt Sutter, he had Sons of Anarchy. just to be part of it. It's really cool. We had Edward James Olmos. I mean, he's like
Amazing.
just
Every
to be,
scene he's
just
in,
to
it's
be
just like,
around that man is just so cool.
Yeah.
yeah. I haven't worked with him on the show because his storyline is somewhere else.
Right.
But just to have him on set is just terrific, And so it's great, and the whole cast is great. We really enjoy each other. There's so many guys that I wish I knew all my life, and I just met them.
Well, I'm sure this is one of many seasons to come. Now, in dealing with scripts and your own characters, there's so many complexities that happen when you're not always in the scene. You're kind of off on your own right now. Gonna come back. And then, Antonio, we don't see you in every single scene where some big decision is making, but in reality, your character would know what's going on. How do you deal with that, with the pressure of learning your own role, but also having to know what's going on with the rest of the characters?
I don't pay attention to anybody else's storyline or lines. I open the script and I go directly to what I'm.
And you highlight.
Now
Yeah,
with Apple
what I
Books,
have
you
to
just
say.
write your name and
Yeah, I don't really care what anybody else is
Keep all of
doing.
that.
It's like, I don't even know half the guys' character names. Like I still go, wait, you play what? What part are you? I mean, there was a guy that I guess he's one of the leads and shit. I didn't know, and I asked the guy for like a coffee and shit. I'm like, hey, dude, can you get some coffee? And he's like, what? Can you get me some coffee and donuts, cabron? He goes, I'm on the show. I'm like, I know, I've seen you around. You work here, cabron. Can you get me the donuts and coffee? He goes, no, I'm in the show. Wait, are you the guy? Are you the star? Yeah. Shit. I'm sorry, dude. What's your character name? And so, whatever. I'm still learning who
Did he
everybody
get
is.
you the coffee and the donuts?
He did get the coffee, but not the donuts. I got another character to get me the donuts.
Fair enough.
Another guy.
Edward James Olmos is there giving donuts to everybody.
No, I know who he is,
Yeah.
so I don't ask him. But the other guys, I go, dude, are you on the show?
Yeah.
Fuck, give me donuts anyways,
Maybe if we all gave each other more coffee and donuts, the world would be a better place.
I don't need any more donuts.
Everybody needs donuts. Are you kidding me? In the morning, if I don't have donuts and coffee, I'm going to punch somebody in the face.
Híjole.
I'm sorry.
Híjole.
Is this a family show?
No, they all went to bed.
Okay.
It's a safe place again.
From the very first moments of Mayans, this chemistry and the strength that you guys all have, I feel like you guys have been on the road for years, and there's dustiness, and I don't mean the physical dust, but there's this age to your guys' friendship and chemistry. How difficult is that, number one, to go into this environment with all these different guys? Everybody's there with their character. They want to make their characters so powerful. Almost like, like it's a diva set, but with male divas.
No, yeah,
right?
everybody's trying to be the whatever, the Hercules or whatever.
Right.
The guy.
The alpha.
Yeah, the alpha man.
antithesis
There
of
you
the
go.
There you go.
It's
Right.
like being in a football team and everybody wants to be a damn star, and you're like, damn, and there's only one ball. It's only so you got to pass it around.
And then you guys have these scenes where you guys are like on your motorcycle. It's like, well, you can't really rehearse that. So not only do you have to be like your cool guy, but you have to be like, don't get too close there. Like everybody has to be good in this shot. How do you build that chemistry? Was it done through rehearsal, or how was chemistry built on your show?
I've said this before. I think Kurt Sutter has the great ability of knowing what type of people to put together in a room. So he has great ears and eyes to assemble a great group of guys that it seems we known each other for a long time, because you're not the first guy to say this. A lot of people say this. It looks
Right
like
off
you
the
guys
bat.
have known each other forever.
Which the fans of Sons of Anarchy wanted. They were like, okay, go ahead, spin off, impress me. And they're like, oh, this is good.
No, it's just we bonded so quick, and that's credit Mr. Kurt Sutter, the type of person that he got. We're all disenfranchised type of people. We're trying to find our own place at the table.
Yeah.
And so we come from different environments, but same environment, but different parts of the world, I guess. And we just connect. And then the writing is so good, and just being on a motorcycle is so cool to go to work. And instead of, there's your desk and your computer, they're like, there's your Harley over there.
Well, and you didn't ride your bike for about 12 years because you became a father.
I did. I gave it up because my son was born 12 years ago, and I decided to give up motorcycle riding because I'm a little crazy.
No.
Little
Really?
bit.
A little bit.
I didn't get that vibe.
No? Okay. But now that I'm on the show, I'm like, oh, yeah. Now I can
Now
just...
you have to.
Now, yeah.
Can you imagine if you showed up like in a smart car? And people
Yeah, like a...
really,
Prius.
Antonio?
The Prius? Yeah.
A bird scooter? One of those bird scooters?
That's
That's
right.
not the coolest thing.
Actually, I was just in Puerto Rico, and I was riding a scooter because they didn't have a motorcycle.
Was
I
it electric?
was there working. No, well, I don't know. It sounded like a
Did you
blender.
sit?
I don't know.
Did you sit on it or did you?
No, I wrote the thing. because I went to rent a motorcycle because I wanted to go around town.
Yeah, of course.
I couldn't find a damn motorcycle, so they're like, well, we have scooters. And I'm like,
You're like, have you seen my
scooter?
show? Can you imagine? Next season on my
You're like you're lucky TMZ
that
didn't
was me
find you
all
for
over
that
Puerto
one.
Rico. Them,
It's so funny.
Somebody should have videoed me.
Mayan,
Really,
Mayan
it was
star
funny.
caught on TMZ riding bird
That
That
scooter.
is so funny.
Yeah.
Now, Jennifer, I received this from an actor who has joined a long-running cast. You came in for season 2, and one thing which I know about from Alex Ponovic's time on the show from Van Helsing, Van Helsing fans are intense. They love the show. They know every line of the show. They go with you during all the changes because the show's kind of changed and it's reinvented itself a few times. So coming into the show's second season, knowing that they had this wait, did you sit and watch the whole first season of Van Helsing?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I really wanted to know exactly which environment. I mean, you hear vampires. How many stories of vampires? How many shows of vampires and all of it, and zombies and the apocalypse
they all suck.
except for Van Helsing.
No,
That's
but I
Hey,
think
come on, it's a vampire pun, guy. I didn't mean that. They all
I missed
suck.
that one.
Kurt is so excited right now.
Thank you.
Number one,
Thank you.
Kurt's excited that we have so many straight people in the studio, and then he's excited that it's so punny.
So punny.
No,
Hey.
Kurt. I'm gonna unplug your board real fast.
This is fun.
Yeah.
So, like your first days on set, like I know you're trying to be good, but to enter a show with this kind of weight to it. It must have been daunting. How did that affect your approach to the character? Because in your mind, you still thought it was 2 episodes.
To think about it, though, like if you let all of that other stuff get in your head, then you're gonna kind of miss. You're gonna also miss the moment because you don't know how long you're gonna last. Nobody knows how long they're gonna last and what they're gonna do. You could even be number 1 on the call sheet, and you don't know. Things change, right? So it's just kind of getting in there and enjoy. You want to, make sure that you go in and you know who everybody is.
Really?
I'm kidding.
All artists have different methods, guys.
Yes, exactly.
So
Okay,
I respect your
stick
method.
to yours. Okay. All right.
But
I still don't know where the hell I am and what am I doing here and who the fuck are these people. Okay.
You're fine.
are we talking about?
Hopefully by the end of the show I'll be like, what the hell was that? I'm
Like,
gonna
that's
ask
the
Lisa, where did you bring me in?
it's the most fun he's ever had in his life.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty
Hey,
cool, actually.
I
Pretty
love
cool.
you guys.
But
It's
Antonio, but
great.
I want to talk about your approach to acting and how you approach a character because you came to it late in life, so to speak. You were inspired by reading Anton Chekhov, Tennessee Williams. You were raised in an orphanage, and where you kind of didn't get like what your identity was or what your passion was because nobody was just paying attention to just you and to what you wanted to do. So then coming to San Diego and then being inspired to become an actor, how did you develop your acting style? Did you get trained? Did you just?
Well, let me make a long story short.
I want to see the movie of your life. By the way.
I did not come into acting or into this art form thinking I'm going to be an actor and I'm going to be, this is going to be I'm going to be famous, blah, 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 blah. None of that. I wasn't very social and I wasn't a very nice person. And
so what's changed?
And anyways,
You guys, I'm sitting right next to him. Don't get him angry.
No, it's sexy. Are you kidding? This is the Mayans.
Security patted him down before he came in.
Okay, sweet.
reading this literature, Tennessee Williams, Arthur Miller, and Anton Chekhov, and entering the theater, it was helping me be a better person, learn about myself, and in turn helping me know about other people. So it just made me a better person to be around and not take things so personal and understand that everybody's fighting their own battle, whatever it is, So it was a way of investigating human behavior, and I just found it so fascinating.
And cathartic.
That I was learning about my own emotions and what I do with them and what people do with them.
Especially Tennessee Williams, all of his characters are so flawed, yet beautiful and strong in their own way.
But it's just how every human being is. We're flawed.
Exactly.
That
There's
beauty
no such
right
thing as
there,
perfection.
it just made me keep reading and reading and reading. Then I started working in the theater, and the way people were receiving my work, I'd never seen that. I just never been accepted anywhere. I mean, I came from an orphanage, so I'm used to like people just putting me in the corner over there.
Yeah.
And then people wanted to talk to me, and I'm like, oh, this is it's strange. And it's still strange. I still run away. I go through the back door. I go and run and get in my car and go home. I don't want to see anybody. But by doing my work, I'm learning about my own humanity and the humanity of other people. So, in one job turned into another. I did go to a conservatory. I enjoy working in the theater. I just finished doing a theater production here in L.A. I belong to the company Antilles, which is a wonderful theater company. I mean,
it's with Armin Shimmerman, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So he was on the show, and Kitty was supposed to be on, but she got sick.
Okay, yeah. Kitty's
talk about
terrific.
when Armin talks about theater. There's like this silence in the room, and you better be on your best knowledge, your best.
All those people. You know who else is in the company? Chris Pine's dad, Robert Pine.
Oh, he is.
He's in the. There's so many actors that you've seen on TV.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, I know that guy. There's so many veterans. They've been doing it for like 40, 50, 60 years. They're all 70 and shit. But they're so good. Like Armin. There's so many guys.
Good.
Tony Amendola, and then there's so many guys, and you get to work with these guys. But Chris Pine actually used to be in the company too. But now he's a star. He doesn't come around too much, but he used to come to the readings. And we used to do workshops.
His dad
it's a
is
great
great.
company.
There's a reason the classics
awesome.
are the classics. You know?
They do a lot of classics. Right now, they're going to open next weekend Little Foxes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
But it's so funny because they're so political with their classic work. And then we see that through line of how classic theater, classic literature is telling these stories over and over again. And we have to pay attention where we came from because we're running through these same themes.
Yeah.
Especially now.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
So I'm very grateful to the arts, especially literature, because it's given me a wonderful life and a wonderful profession and the life that I have now. So I'm very I'm a fortunate person because I did come from an orphanage. Many kids that grew up with me are probably dead by now or incarcerated or on the streets homeless because they have a drug addiction or alcohol problem. I mean, so I'm very grateful too.
So what was different for you then? What made you say, hey, you know what, I'm not going to subscribe to what's going on around me. I'm going to get my shit together and I'm going to follow my dream. Where did that come from?
I don't know. I still ask myself that question because I could have been one of those kids that got lost and was homeless. I mean, I still have my drug addiction. I have my alcohol problem, but it gets balanced out with my literature stuff. I guess I put it on the scale and literature wins. So then,
everyone's an addict, honestly.
Yeah.
Everyone's an addict. It's just, whatever.
And I'm kidding about the drugs. I don't do drugs. Kids, stay away from drugs.
Yes.
And alcohol, just a couple drinks and then go home. Not too much.
There you go. I also want to talk, and this affects both you guys, it's women's role in what's happening in Hollywood. With Van Helsing, this whole season's about the sisters, it's about women power, it's about kick-ass. I know that you were inspired by Bond girls, like you wanted to be a Bond girl, but you also are very involved with activism for gender equality, also LGBT rights, which, thank you so much, I commend you on that. And so there's this energy of what's happening in Hollywood and sci-fi. Girls are kicking ass in sci-fi. All the comic book films. Now we're having these movies that are going to be just based on the women. And then with Mayans, we're dealing with this woman who is leading this rebel group, and she's this tiny little innocent that you're just like, oh yeah, okay, girl. And she's changing.
Adelita.
Right. And these scenes are so powerful. And especially in the Latin culture, LGBT characters and women characters have been regulated to a certain type of character. And that's all changing. Now we're seeing complexities. We're seeing power that's explained. And it's not just, like the big muscle girls.
It's up to the writers. The writers have to write it. If they don't write it, it's not going to happen.
But there has to be a demand for it, though.
No. You have to write it first. Forget the demand. You write it, you put it in front of people, and then you realize that people like it.
Yeah.
Because if you wait for the demand, it's never going to happen. You have to take risk.
Amen.
Write the damn thing. Put them in front.
Well, all of this women rights and empowerment and all that stuff has become more trendy now, just based on the Me Too movement. You know what I mean?
But it's funny in Hollywood. It's
that
like,
Me
what's
Too
a
movement
trend?
is a little scary, though. It's a little scary, though. That Me Too
Move your
movement.
chair over.
Maybe I'm too close.
Oh, don't worry, I can handle myself.
But you know what's funny? In Hollywood, when things trend, we care about it for a season of the Oscars or a season of movies that are being greenlit, and then it's a fad. I think this is here to stay, and I think we're seeing it with long-term effects, not just in film, but we're seeing it on stage, and we're seeing it in TV. And I know, like, you have so many obstacles in my mind from an outside looking because, mixed race, being a girl. And I know that you were bullied when you were younger.
Oh, yeah, I did not. I was never cool in any way. I ate my
You're one of the
lunch
coolest chicks and you're like 10 feet tall, by the way.
I am tallie for sure, definite. But
Is
that's the thing.
Is that from your mom or your dad?
It's actually from my mom's side.
Really?
Yeah, the Mexican side. Like, I guess the Spanish.
Oh, your mom is Mexican and your dad is Korean.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around.
No.
I thought your dad was Mexican and your mom was Korean.
But he does say certain words with a Mexican accent.
So your
Because he
mom
learned
is
how to
Mexican.
English. My mom's
Oh my
Mexican.
God.
That's a weird male
I did
thing.
not expect
I
that.
thought that too. That's what I thought too. Is that just a sexist like male thing that we both thought your dad was?
So this beautiful
Korean?
Korean girl said, okay, that's where I'm going. But it was the other way around. The Korean guy charmed the Mexican girl.
Yeah.
He must be a real
Alright.
charmer,
That's
by
a
the way.
baller.
He's
That's
a
a-
real charmer.
Oh.
He really is. He actually thought she was Korean. And he saw her and he was like, oh, I marry her. And my mom like, you're crazy. I'm Mexican. You don't get away from me. And he's like, wife, marry me. And she was like, no. And then she went to Mexico. And then he befriended a Mexican guy who then wrote her these love letters. Who knows what the hell was in those letters?
Dad was writing letters?
No, he befriended a Mexican guy
To write
the
letters.
Writing them
the
for him.
letters.
Found
This
his
is some
When my mom
movie.
left.
Cyrano
Both you guys
Bergerac.
could have a movie based
Right?
on like.
So wait, so she
Anything.
actually fell in love with your dad's friend.
I think so.
Oh.
So wherever you are. What was in those letters? No, but and then he said, "Oh, you know, I'm dying, and my dying wish is to see you one last time," and sent her a plane ticket back to San Francisco, which is where they met, learning English at Holy Names College. And then she goes back, and he's sitting there. He got a perm, and he had like a 3-piece, like Saturday Night Fever type thing.
Oh,
and she
man.
looked at him. She's like, "You're not dying," and he's like, "For your love." And she's like, "You're crazy." A month
And the
later,
rest is history.
a month later, they elope.
Wow.
Like
That's a
that.
beautiful,
I
that's a
love it.
movie, you know? You got to write the script.
That's
Man.
It's a
well.
beautiful movie.
How did you guys mix traditions with the different cultures? How did that?
You know
mix?
what? It was kind of sad because when, you know, we were growing up, she didn't want us to get confused. And we were kind of part of a generation. Like, it's really nice to see the youth now. They're really owning their bloodline and where they're from, and they're passionate
Totally.
about it. But when I was growing up, it was like, you didn't know, man. no, dude. You know, I'm
Yeah.
one of you. You know, I'm Canadian.
Do you speak
know?
Spanish?
Muy poquito.
Muy poquito.
Spanglish.
Bueno, hablas poquito español, ¿ok? Yo hablo poquito Korean también.
You do?
Oh, yeah.
Really?
See?
Oh, yeah.
Where did you learn?
At the Korean Institute? I don't know.
Of Korean learning.
Korean
at the,
language skills?
yeah, at the Korean
I went to the same
University,
place too.
you know? Love you long time.
Oh my God.
I don't know. Is that a university?
He did say anything goes. On
Oh
the
my
show.
God! I hope my mom is not
Ay,
listening.
Oy vey.
Breaking barriers down right now. But when we're talking about cultural heritage, you know, and I wanted to ask you this. Where is the line between being very proud of your heritage? You know, you're from Mexico, but working in the U.S., where is that fine line of having your heritage but still being patriotic?
Well,
It's
you
it's
are
a
what
fine
you
line.
are. You can't erase that. You know, I was born in Mexico. They told me I was Mexican because I don't know. Okay, that's what they said to me, and that I stick with it.
Yeah.
Because many people that I tell them that I'm Mexican, they're like, "You're not Mexican." I'm like, "Wait, really? How do you know?" Is there's, you know? Anyways, that's a joke. But look, I'm very proud of my heritage because we have great food and great music, and I just love it. You know, so but anyone's heritage is beautiful. You know, any nationality. There's beauty in it, and sometimes you know people with the mine's better than yours and blah blah. It's just so dumb. Everyone is different,
yeah.
but beautiful, and we're all
Amen.
the same. You know, I just
all
happen to
the
come
same.
from Mexico, and I love tequila and tacos, and that's it. You know, but you know,
Yeah.
What else?
That's the truth. That's all there is. Honestly, that's it. That's it.
Antonio,
That's it.
I want to take a look at one of your scenes from Shades of Blue. I want the viewers to see this intensity. Now, you shifted from theater to TV film pretty easily, but I want you guys to see this intensity here.
Want to see this? Shh! I've never seen this. I've never seen this.
Oh, they cut this one?
No, I don't watch myself.
Oh, you
on
don't
the
watch
damn
your stuff.
screen.
Oh, no, I got
One
it.
second.
Look away.
Okay,
Cover
look
my eyes.
away.
Take your headphones off.
I remember what I did. I know I was kissing her. Stunning. Oh. This is the blue part of you.
We had an agreement, Miguel. I gave you 200,000 reasons to stay away.
Did you? Must have slipped my mind. That handgun of yours is a barrier to a civilized conversation. To reconciliation.
But now we're gonna add theft and breaking and entering to your rap sheet?
I was invited, officer. I'm family. Fact. Got my own key.
Where did you get that?
Christina and I have been growing closer. We're making up for lost time.
I told you to stay away from her.
She's almost a grown woman. She can decide for herself.
All right, so just a peek as to this intensity.
Giving you a chance.
No, don't stop it.
No, you guys have to check
you.
this out.
We're watching that.
You're stopping the good part. What's wrong with
because
you?
I want the viewers to go check it out. It's actually on your website.
You just teased
Spoiler
everyone,
alert.
and now you stop it.
Welcome to my life.
Kiss this woman. I'm about to manhandle Jennifer Lopez, and you stop it.
You guys have to check out the rest of the scene.
You've
I
seen
also
it
don't-
before.
No, I've done it.
You were there.
I did it,
You know.
and then I kept messing up, so I could do it again. You're like, cut, Antonio. What's the
man.
problem? I'm like, I'm sorry.
Producers are mad.
Sorry. Let me do this again. I lost my line. Oops. Oops. Okay, Jennifer, can I do it again? Okay.
That was funny. Going to set, I would say, going to set, Shades of Blue got a lot of press before. And it's like, oh, J-Lo, we all love J-Lo. She's a dancer, singer. Oh, she's going to do drama. It's like, okay. When you got the part and you had your first scene with her, what was going through your mind? Were you like, oh, can she act? I mean, was that...
First of all, let me just say this.
Yeah.
Jennifer Lopez is one lovely woman.
That's
okay?
what I hear from everybody.
She is such a professional,
I would think
and
so.
she does everything: singing, judging, directing, singing, acting. I don't know, cooking,
choreographing,
babysitting,
Who's
choreographing.
talking shit about J-Lo? That's what I don't get.
No.
I've never.
But
Someone talks shit about J-Lo.
That's what I'm saying.
Of course, I did have
And she's preserved.
Sorry.
I did have my reservations, but because
Well, she's
I
Jennifer
like
from the
really
block.
good actors, but she was tremendous. I mean, you
Yeah,
saw it,
she did.
saw her in this.
Really great job.
We had such great chemistry. She was so lovely. A lot of big stars sometimes when you're doing something physical, they do the main part and then you get a double.
They're gone.
You get a body double to manhandle, and I thought I was gonna manhandle a double, and then it's like, wait, you're staying? Okay, wait a second. Where can I grab? I'm sorry. I just don't want to be this because it's Jennifer Lopez.
Right.
I mean,
She can have you
doesn't-
killed.
She doesn't stop being Jennifer Lopez.
Yeah.
There's like 15 security guards around. I'm like, who are these dudes? With the microphones. No, I'm just kidding. She's a lovely woman. We have great fun in the show. Terrific chemistry, and I really enjoy being a part of the show, and she's awesome. She really is awesome. People don't give her credit for as good as she is because she does so many things, so we think that she's not that good at certain things. But you try to do everything that she does and see how good you are at those fucking things,
Right.
and then come over and talk to me, motherfucker, all right? So you leave her alone. She's terrific, lovely woman. If you're listening, let's do Shades of Blue too. Can we do
Yes.
that? I don't know.
Well, because she said
a
that,
big reason
that
why
she's
I'm
done
doing
with
what
Shades
I'm
of Blue.
doing.
She did
Oh!
the time on it.
It's
and-
no longer on?
No, she canceled it. They
I
want
was
her.
wait. I was trying to come back.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Maybe they'll do a Christmas reunion.
Oh, let's do it. That Shades of Blue, the Christmas.
Yes.
The Christmas episodes.
Special.
Here's my key and my present.
The Shades of Jew.
No.
Little rapping. And then Ivory comes in and kicks some ass.
No, that's one of my favorite roles. Working with Jennifer Lopez and doing that role, playing her baby daddy. Just, I'm really was one of my best gigs so far, and also working on Dallas with Judith Light. We had so much fun too.
Those scenes are
Talk
so
about
delicious.
OGs of the theater right there.
Yeah, see, but it's that intense, and I have to say, Antonio, even when you're not front and center in some of the scenes in Mayans, I think it's what the theater, and if you've done theater too, where it's like you know how to hold your presence, and that intensity follows you, whether it's TV, film, or whatever. And so the eye is drawn to wherever you guys are on screen in a very intense, very intense way. Jennifer, I want to take a look at some of your work as well. Oh yes.
No, not after that. I had to follow him and J-Lo? Are you...
We gotta watch the end of the scene. What the
I'm telling you, go. I want people to
go to the website and stuff.
Yeah, because your website's good. It needs to be updated a little bit.
I
but,
haven't seen it in so many years. Is it still on?
Yeah, it's
the website's on,
and the videos are great.
Okay.
Yes.
I gotta talk to my people because
Yes.
the pictures are probably when I was 5 years old, right? It's gotta be updated.
No, it's
good?
good. Yeah,
It's good?
yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Okay, let's take a look
Oh, I don't know.
at Jen.
This is your flight.
Sexy mama.
Please buckle up. Surprise layover in LA. Thought we could rack up some miles.
She's welcome to join us. Excuse me.
Is this for adults?
Oh, dude, I'm listening to it. It's so bad.
Well, that's.
Couldn't get like.
Wait, that's Lucifer.
Lucifer, yeah. You guys both did the show.
Die.
To talk with Maya.
Assassin!
Maya shall decide your fate.
You done some Shakespeare.
Beg for a quick death.
Find him! Bring him!
It's so dark. I can't see a damn thing. Can you lighten it up? What the hell?
We're just seeing like the preview part. Yeah.
Oh, okay, because the
our viewers are seeing it later.
They're seeing nothing on the radio.
No, it's a video, you guys.
So the people listening are just listening to the text. They're not watching the image. They're just listening.
No,
they're
they're
doing
watching,
everything.
yeah. But they're getting a better. There we go.
I'm always.
That's gotta hurt.
You work with the hottest men in Hollywood, by the way.
Hi. So I have visuals to cue
Love
up,
the
and for
scene.
the graphics, I think we can probably.
I'm not your producer. I'm your media
Oh, you're so pretty on the
Talk about a different look there.
I'm
Damn,
very
nice
nice.
work.
Oh, what a difference a shower
Versatile.
makes.
Yeah, you know.
But I'm not sure we're gonna have time because we have to do my hair and makeup. And that's gonna take a little while.
You're a gesticulator. That's not a problem. You can clean that up right away. Don't worry, I work with people in that chair all the time.
Hi,
Okay.
I'm Genevieve.
So I want to say you do a lot of
I wanna work with her.
supernatural
I wanna
roles.
work
You
with
do a
you.
lot of
I
physical
wanna work with
roles.
I want to work with you.
too.
Yeah.
Mine's.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. This was just private over here. Go,
Do you know how many deals have been made live on this show? I'm not even kidding you.
You have no idea how much.
Do you guys know? Do you guys know who Tommy Wiseau is from The Room?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Disaster. So he was on 2
Oh!
weeks ago.
Oh
Yeah,
yes.
yeah. So he
that
was on.
movie, that crazy movie.
Right, and
this
James
guy's
Franco.
still alive.
Yeah, he was on the show 2 weeks ago. They did the
Are
Disaster
you
Artist.
kidding?
James
Is he doing
Franco's
like the
movie.
sequel? Is he still doing movies down the street?
You guys, so it happened. He announced it on the show. They're doing The Room, the Broadway musical.
No way.
No
Excuse
way.
me?
Really?
Yes. Broadway.
Nice.
Man, but that movie was terrific. That movie was terrific.
Well, it's the worst. It's the best worst film ever made.
Ever.
Yeah.
It was just terrific.
yeah.
Franco did a
He crushed
terrific
it.
job as he always does. You know, he's terrific.
Yep.
Well,
I
and
like
I mean,
it.
how weird to be famous for Tommy to be so famous for something so awful, and then it took 10 years for it to become a cult hit. So for those 10 years, he wasn't Tommy Wiseau the way that we know him now.
And
It's-
cast
it's
yourself
so-
as
just-
like wanting to bang your brother.
uh,
That's pretty. That's pretty serious.
It's
acting
just
role.
such a beautiful story to be so bad at what you do
It's
and
true,
still
though.
be
Yeah,
successful.
it's-
You know, I mean, to suck at what you do
That-
and still
that's
be
tou-
successful. That's amazing.
No, I'm talking about Franco's work in it though, as an actor
Oh, no,
and
no,
director.
him. No,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no, no,
amazing,
no,
too.
yeah.
But the actual guy,
But the
Tommy.
actual
yeah.
guy-
No, that's insane.
And you
That's
guys, I have to
insane
say,
that
yeah.
He was so
Committed.
driven for 10
And
years.
committed and just
And-
believed in
and-
himself.
and you know what? He was
that's,
right.
That's
He
the
was
story
right.
about
And you know
believing
what?
in
He
yourself
was
right
right.
there.
The
He
joke's
was
on
right.
us.
You
The
should have
joke is on
listened to him.
us. Yes.
You should have listened to him. He was right.
Jen Colleen Barton from the chat room says hello.
Hi.
But your roles, like we were talking about, are so physical, and you do a lot of capture movement work, and you do so many supernatural roles.
Yeah.
Were you drawn to those kind of projects or like films when you were a kid, or are you like, okay, this is what I do?
Well, it kind of happened that way. I also live in a very sci-fi heavy city, Vancouver. There's
That's true.
So much going on out there.
That is very true.
Always has a history of it, and it looks very sci-fi. So I just kind of landed in it. And also, I'm very tall, and I'm, whenever writers
tall
are
are you?
writing, oh man, the truth.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say it. I'm 6 feet.
Okay, that's not tall.
But
I mean,
normally
for a
I would
woman,
always
yeah, yes,
5'10".
Yeah.
Don't worry, men here in Hollywood
I
are
pop-
5'6" and they say 5'11".
Yeah,
That's
it's the
why I say
opposite for us.
5'10".
Yeah.
Have you ever
when
seen
they're
Tom
long-
Cruise on set? Apple boxes galore.
Actually, it's hard to see him. I almost stepped on him once. I'm like, what the fuck?
He's always flying around in those spaceships
But
and
you know
stuff.
what? Let's not make fun of him. He's a terrific actor.
Yeah,
He's
he
great.
is.
He's great.
He
I
is.
love him.
No, don't
He
make
is.
that face. He's never done a shitty movie. He's really good. He's very professional.
acting-
Maybe the movie was bad, but his work, he's
His
very
His work
committed.
is good. He is
very
a good
committed.
actor. I will give him that.
Very committed. I mean, he never stops being Tom Cruise, but he's very committed and very professional.
Yes, that 1,000% true.
That's what I meant. That's what I meant.
And he does
That's
his
what I
own
meant.
stunts. He's
Yo,
to be committed.
are you kidding
And
me?
he's always trying
Tropic
to
Thunder, best work. Tropic Thunder.
He did a good job in Tropic
Best
Thunder.
Born on the 4th of July. That was terrific.
Magnolia.
Magnolia.
He's good in Magnolia, too.
Also, you're too
Eyes Wide Shut.
You Can't Handle
Eyes
the
Wide
Truth.
Shut.
What is that? A Few Good Men. That's pretty good.
Few Good Men.
Far and Away.
The Verdict.
Gotta love Far and
See,
Away.
now we're here.
Hocus Pocus.
Now it's the Tom Cruise show.
We love you, Tom.
Tom Booze.
We
show.
do. Hey,
Yeah.
if anyone,
On the rocks.
if anyone can last as long as Tom Cruise and be as successful as he is, are you kidding me? In Hollywood,
Right.
to be as successful and consistent as he is,
Well, then that's conspiracy theories, though.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I don't want to say it because
No.
what if I?
Let's not
Why
go
would you talk
down
about
that
that?
Let's not go
road.
there. Let's go.
We'll all not have premieres tomorrow.
Are
Yes.
you talking about the
We have a
Scientology?
different.
You're not a Scientologist because I am. What are you talking about, woman? Want to get into it right now?
You would not be a Scientologist.
I'll convert you right now.
No. They actually have a really good buffet on Sundays if you go to the free.
That's where
If
I
you
get
go to
all
their
my bagels
workshop-
and lox. I get all
That's
my
what they have-
bagels and my smears there.
Yes, and the
And they
gefilte fish
toast them
enchiladas are very popular.
Quesadillas,
Sure.
pizzas, and bagels and cream cheese all day. All you can eat.
I want to talk about family for a little bit. Antonio, if you don't want to talk about it, then we don't have to talk about it. But I know that you actually had the opportunity to meet your biological family. And in Mayans, the last couple of episodes have been very about family coming in and out. Who is family? Your brotherhood in Mayans is family. But then we're seeing situation with Coco and his offspring and that whole family dynamic. Do you mind talking about this?
I mean, 6 years ago, I met my father. There was a cousin who sold savages, I guess, in Mexico. They were showing it. And she kept looking at my face thinking, and then at the end, she read the credits and then read my name. And then she decided to write a 8 pages long letter to my manager here in LA in Spanish.
Wow.
So my manager gets this letter. And then he calls me, Antonio, I think this is for you. And it was a cousin of mine who wanted to meet me and for me to go to Mexico, meet my father, blah, blah, blah. I met him. Whatever. That was that. That was, I'm going to save the rest for Oprah. My mother, I've always had my mother came back to the orphanage 10 years later to see if we were still there, and we were there, and she picked us. She took us out, me and my brother. So, and she lives here, and I don't see her often, but she's a lovely woman who was very young and had 3 children, and she didn't know what to do with having 3 children. So she decided, okay, orphanage, not the right choice, but whatever. It made sense at that time. It is what it is. I'm a parent now. I have 2 children, and it's not easy. I have a child who has autism, my little boy. That's very difficult. Anybody dealing with autism, it is, excuse the French, fucked up. Because nobody understands it. Even the doctors, they give you this fancy terminology. Nobody knows. It's like there's no cure. So I love you, baby boy. Mwah. And I have my little girl who was also my angel. She's cool. She's just crazy.
Takes after her daddy. But this whole idea, but this whole idea of family and what's going on with Mayans and your own personal story, family is not what it used to be, and especially like I know you do a lot of activism with LGBT, but your friends, your brotherhood, your whatever you choose to be your family can be as important and as successful for you as actual blood. Mm-hmm. So I just love that the idea of family is changing, and we're seeing more and more stories, especially in Latin. Not that this is a Latin program, but it is. I mean, it's about Mexicans where, you didn't used to talk about any problems with your family. You didn't talk about any other issues because you had to present the best face.
Problems didn't exist in Hollywood.
Yeah. Right.
Everybody was doing great.
Well, that's what I was saying before when we started the show about, we have this position of power where we can talk about things or we can talk about the roles that we're doing. We have to promote ourselves, but I think it's really important to use these times and these opportunities to talk about real shit. So
and for kids
you're
to
beautiful
see
for talking
something
about that,
different.
man.
That's exactly right.
Other options, because growing up, all I saw was a Caucasian mom and a Caucasian dad, and their cute little boy and their cute little girl, and that was how Cinderella was blonde hair and blue eyed, and I could never be a princess. I could never do this. I could never be.
We're upsetting Kurt right now. He's the white man.
As the white man.
And we're upset.
He wants to be a Disney princess, too.
No.
You can be.
Probably. No, and there was nothing wrong with what you said because it was a reality, but it was just that it wasn't inclusive of other nationalities,
And it wasn't
of other colors.
accurate at all. It
Well,
was a completely lie.
it's accurate in a certain part of our country, but
Well, it was
there's also
accurate
other
for
colors that we
the
were
And
not
what they
adding.
were
For the
trying to
racist
make this idea
society
of,
that they were
but that's
portraying on
not reality,
television.
and that's
No,
important.
Especially
because
the princesses used to be like damsel in distress, which over the last few years they've changed that kind of.
Like I was called Pocahontas, and it wasn't a good thing. I had to change schools. It was so bad. People
Why?
because
Pocahontas is
Pocahontas.
awesome.
Well, it wasn't where I grew up. I grew up
she's-
in a very white predominant city, and yeah, they were just like.
I thought
"You're
Vancouver was
Pocahontas."
very inclusive.
Well, I grew up in the countryside. I grew up on a horse farm, and we were kind of in the middle of nowhere. So it was a lot of white people.
I grew up in Maine as a
Interesting.
Jew, and people were super anti-Semitic to me.
Really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
big time. Yeah.
Yeah.
There was like probably 3,000 to 5,000 Jews in my hometown where I grew up in Portland, Maine, like an hour and a half north of Boston.
Oh.
And so we were a minority in our town, my family, and we've been there for over 75 years. But still,
Yeah, but it was crazy
facing,
because, like,
you
and
know.
then, there were some Asians, but we weren't Asian enough. And then, there
Isn't that
were
funny?
some Latins,
Yeah.
but I wasn't Latin
Right,
enough.
yeah.
And, and like, to answer that question that you asked earlier, why I ended up in sci-fi is because I looked like an alien, like I'm not Asian enough. I'm not Latin enough. I know Asian is trending right now and everybody's, getting
Oh, yeah.
Asians
Oh, yeah.
everywhere now.
Oh, yeah.
And it's great, but I'm still in the same boat because I'm not full Asian. Like I lost a part because I wasn't now the
But you
right
look, but you
Asian.
look fully
You know what I mean? And
Asian.
it's like,
if you don't
are
tell
you
people that
serious?
you're part Mexican, you can't tell you're part Mexican.
It depends on who I meet. There are some people that are just like, yes, I see it. It just depends on, I guess, what I'm wearing, how my hair is. I don't know. But
And also,
If you're walking around with a sombrero, yeah.
I
would say,
will.
yeah, she's
That's why I
Mexican.
always do that. And
But
if
if
my
you,
poncho.
if you take off your sombrero, you're fine, woman.
But it's also like what
You
you,
know?
get called in for auditions. If my agent would have sent me in for an audition for mine, it's like, well, you're Mexican, you should audition for the show. Can you imagine? Be like, hi boys, we're gonna ride some motorcycles. They put me on the scooter spinoff. is
You'll
what they-
be on the sidecar. On the
Yes.
sidecar.
Hey, I wouldn't mind.
That would be funny.
It's so interesting the line when it comes to casting, as far as like being white enough or Asian enough or black enough or whatever for the role. You know what I mean? It's they used to want to cast white
don't you just
looking
look for the
people.
character?
Exactly.
Like, why-
How about
like-
the talented person who's right for the role?
Right?
It's so interesting.
And
Honestly, the viewers don't give a shit. That's what is interesting to me.
Well,
The viewers give a shit to a certain point, and then at a certain point, the thought that goes into the casting is creating a more racist society, in my opinion.
I
But-
agree.
Thanks.
Look at the movie, Crazy Rich Asians.
Yeah.
Everybody loved it. It was like, oh, we're bringing diversity in Hollywood. What was the title of the film? Like, how is that bringing diversity
Thank
into
you.
it?
Thank
The
you.
name
And
of
I was
that
like,
movie was
I'm
offensive
really
to me, and
glad
I'm not
that
Asian.
I
was
know,
like,
and I
what is
and
going
I
on
even
with this?
It's
haven't
like,
even
oh,
seen
that
it yet.
movie did well.
And people are like, oh, maybe you'll be in the sequel. I'm like, I'm not Asian enough.
They're never going to call a movie Crazy Rich Jews in Hollywood.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? I promise
I'm
you
like,
that.
oh, how
Woody
is
Allen's
that?
made every movie about Crazy Rich
Well,
Jews.
yeah, but he didn't call it that.
Well, now that I didn't want to say this, because it's a secret. But now that you're speaking of this, I guess I can let it out. We're actually making a movie right now.
Loco, Latinas.
Crazy Poor Mexicans.
Oh my God.
And,
Is he allowed to say that? Yeah, no.
you know I love you. Please don't get offended. Please don't be sensitive around me because I'll punch you in the face.
I made the joke.
All
I'm
right?
like, Black Panther was one
It's
of
a
the
joke.
biggest films of this last year. I want to play the brown armadillo. Like, that's what I want to play.
It would be Meshuggah Rich Jews. Yeah. That's what it would be.
You know, aside of all the politics and the kidding around, we're all the same. Really, we are the same. We're made
real.
out of the same
so
flesh
true.
and bone.
We have family
We're
issues.
literally
We
the
have
same.
money
Doesn't
issues.
matter
We have
what-
career
All of those
issues. We
things.
have
All of our differences
Body
have been
issues.
created by us.
They try to
don't
divide us
really-
by
yeah.
put us in different boxes, but
Yes.
we're just a person. Just a person. The only difference is woman, men, and then the in between, but they're still woman and men. You know, I mean, we're the same. It doesn't
human,
matter what
it's still
color you are. It
mankind.
doesn't matter. Please stop using this as a thing.
Yeah.
We're just human beings. That's all. Let's just get along, be nice to each other, be respectful, be nice,
Just
be kind.
Please treat
And-
other people how you want to be
Just-
treated. It's
And
the
also
golden
in
rule.
our own minority groups, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Well,
Yeah,
yeah.
look, in my own community, I've never been Mexican enough. I'm telling you, I'm Mexican.
Yeah.
Laugh
but
at
I've never
laugh
been
at
Mexican
yourself.
enough.
Laugh at yourself.
They don't hire me as Mexican. I go in
as
as Mexican. They're like, no. And I'm like, no, yes, no.
But
too tall, I mean, what? They just don't hire me as Mexican. Literally. I'm not a Mexican in the Mayans. I'm French. Just kidding.
It's a character choice.
you were French?
Yeah. Je m'appelle Antonio.
His character feels French, but it hasn't come out in the show yet.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Might be in tonight's episode. We don't know.
We don't know.
He could be making crepes in that tunnel.
Yeah.
Right?
Crepe / quesadilla.
I do want to show a softer side to Antonio. Antonio has also sang, and we're gonna have just a little.
You're gonna do this?
Yeah.
Ah, shit.
Here's the romantica.
No. Ay, ay.
So sexy.
Caliente.
Yep.
Fuego.
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 That's a storyteller voice. Mm-hmm.
I hope the Mayans fans are not watching this.
I was gonna say.
All right.
Have you ever sang on set?
I need to sing rock and roll, not this. Okay, so let's
No,
have some.
this is so
let's have some
good.
heavy metal. No, not for the Mayans
No,
fans.
this is.
You could
The
play.
MC does not stand
Hey.
for Motorcycle Club.
Maybe you
come
could be in the
on.
room, the musical now. Now that we know you sing, you have the long black hair.
Oh, the Mayans, the musical.
No, the room.
Oh, the room. I'm sorry.
Oh, I thought you meant the Mayans.
No,
and
no,
I was like,
I love,
am on
I
board
love
for that.
music. I
I
love
would
music.
see that one. Yeah,
I
did
love
that.
music, and this is how I entered into this industry. But I was never as good as I thought I was in music, but I still enjoy it.
Same.
But the same abilities that I have musically transferred into the art form that I do now, which is expressing emotions as an actor. But really, music, it was my number one thing, and I love music.
It's a universal language, man.
You know, yes.
The best singers are not the most technically great singers. They're storytellers because you can hear that passion in your voice, and that's what you're doing with your notes. Well, you know, how many stories have you been telling through your music?
A lot, yeah, a lot. Well, it was started with the theater, and then I had always been writing in rhymes, and now like I realized that being able to perform my raps, my original music live, makes me feel more alive than anything else. It's the best feeling. You can't beat it.
One last question before we get to our rapid fire. Is the atmosphere on set Mayans? You know, it's not funny. You know what I mean? Like some of the funniness comes from the characters. Like Coco is one of my favorite characters. No offense.
Wait,
he's
Coco from the Disney movie?
no.
Is he in the Mayans? What the hell?
I still haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen
know where
Coco
his-
the Disney movie?
He's just
No, I
thinking
haven't.
of
Okay,
his
show's over.
favorite movie.
Bye.
Oh,
Yeah.
I
Are you
was
kidding me?
crying. I cried.
Coco's
all
one of the
through
best
Coco.
animated films ever.
I'm gonna watch
That's
it.
what I heard.
I cry
still
more for
haven't seen it. I
animated.
won't lie. I tried to watch it a couple times.
Please
at
tell me
Netflix.
you've seen Pan's Labyrinth.
Oh yeah, it's
I love
amazing.
Pan's
No, it's
Labyrinth.
amazing.
That
I
was
love
kidding?
it.
Okay.
I have
Amazing.
seen Pan's
Because that is magic.
No, it's so good.
It's an orgasm on a screen.
Did you guys hear Guillermo del Toro's new movie is a live action animated CGI, a mixture of Pinocchio, but he's going to go back to the original story.
He's crazy.
Yeah, he is
I
crazy.
He
love
gives
it.
us a movie that is like a Disney movie for adults.
It's
It's like
gonna
a
be
love
dark.
story,
It's so
a
dark.
thriller,
Yeah.
a sci-fi. You're like, what am I watching? He's
And, like,
amazing, this man.
He just made like the last one he did.
The Lady in the
Water.
The
Shape
Water.
of Water.
Yeah.
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water.
Shape of Water. That's
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh my god.
You liked it?
I really liked
Yeah.
it.
But you know that was just Splash.
Yes,
The new
I was
version.
just about
Basically.
to say
Okay.
that.
Yeah,
You
do
just
you like
took it
that?
out.
That was a new
Do you like-
incarnation of
do you like fish
Splash.
sticks?
I
Do you
also
like
like
fish
that one
sticks?
too. Fish sticks?
Do you like fish sticks?
Do I like fish sticks?
Do
I feel
you
like
have
this
some?
is a-
I'm hungry. I could have some right now.
I was just wondering if you like fish sticks.
Yeah, I like fish
Are they
sticks.
edible? I mean, I'll have some. I'm so freaking hungry.
Shape
right
of
now.
Water, hey, you know.
Fish sticks, are they
Fish
edible?
sticks?
I don't
Or
even
is
know.
that cheese sticks? I don't know. What are those?
No,
I know
cheese
that
sticks
Guillermo del Toro is
can
a big
also be
fan
pretty good.
of
Yes.
fish sticks.
Well,
And then Alejandro,
Obviously.
Well, I
Alejandro
will eat fish
González,
sticks
Alejandro
with you.
González Iñárritu.
Sorry, I can't resist. a good
Amores
fish stick
Perros,
joke.
21 grams. Alejandro.
Yeah.
Benicio's the man.
So,
Oh, Benicio.
oh, he is. That
Benicio.
picture that you took with you and Oliver Stone and Benicio, like I almost wet my pants. It's like the
Wait, do we
best.
have this photo?
Yeah,
still?
we
Do
do.
we have it?
Yeah.
Because maybe
You
we
know
could
that
get a
I
full
was in
pants.
grade
Well,
7, and my brother was like, oh, Jen, that's Benicio del Toro. And I turned and I was like, because I was in grade 7.
He's
I
a
had
man.
no, and I just remember
in
seeing
Vancouver or
in
something?
Vancouver he was filming Access Baggage.
He's so good. And you know, he's on that new show with Patricia Arquette. And
did not know that.
Yeah, but Benicio del Toro, and you can post or not post. He's such an intense actor. I can't even imagine like what it's like hanging out with him.
I know,
my
right?
birthday up there.
But Antonio, how do you deal with the weight on the set? And I know, although Van Helsing has a little humor to it.
Definitely.
I mean, from what Alex says, you guys have a riot in between scenes, and
we're on different storylines, though.
Yes, that must be
So
kind
I
of weird
don't-
too, where you're kind of like, well, I want to have fun.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know. But I mean, Roland and I, we have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It is. It's still great. But we are like, I kind of just see them in the makeup trailer and in passing and stuff like that, or like when we do promotion stuff. But yeah, no, it's good. It's fun.
Blood for blood.
Yeah, a lot of sticky blood.
I was trying too hard there. That one. That was
As
Let
for
it
your,
let out.
your
Yeah.
question
Ouch.
about the set on my end, yeah, it's a serious show, but behind the scenes, we're always, playing jokes on each other. I mean, Clayton Cardenas and me, we're always playing with each other, and Michael Irby's very funny too, and Raul Trujillo, I love that man. From Apocalypto, he's on mine too. He's awesome. Hi, Raul, if you're listening, you're probably asleep, right? Because it's too late for you to be awake.
No, he's
past
probably
your-
watching the show.
Past your bedtime.
what
live
time's your
tweeting.
call tomorrow? Are you done shooting right now?
No, we're done. We
You're
did
done,
10
yeah, yeah,
episodes.
that's
We're
right.
done.
Okay,
We
that's
go
right.
back next year.
How long was the shooting time?
Like 12 hours a day.
How many weeks though?
Yeah.
Is that what you're asking?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, hell, I don't know. I mean, it was long. I mean, it was.
Because you guys did the pilot, then you had to wait.
Well, we
see
had
if it
to.
was
We did the
picked
pilot,
up.
then we had to redo the pilot. We did 2 pilots because the first one didn't work.
Really?
It didn't
What did
enjoy
they
so
change?
much. They changed the cast. There was about 5 actors that would replace.
Yikes.
And also just the whole tone of it. The network just wanted something else different, And I was lucky to remain in the cast as other guys were. And but my role changed. The first time around, I was the vice president. I'm the first pilot.
And now you're
But
the
then
secretary.
They realized I had really nice legs, and they're like, let's make him the secretary. No. It was because of my age. I was too young to be the vice president. So then Raul Trujillo became the vice president. He's my papa. He's older than me, but he looks better as the vice president. I look too young for it. So now I'm the secretary.
You guys are perfectly cast, like I said. If you haven't seen Mayans, you have to watch the first episode, and you're going to be hooked. I cannot wait to see how the season.
And you got to watch Van Helsing. You got to watch it. I just saw. I saw a little bit of that, and I'm hooked. I'm hooked. And
I dressed up as a Mayan.
Oh, you
for
did?
Halloween, yeah.
Well,
we weren't around then. What are you talking
It
about?
was during Sons of Anarchy.
Oh, you mean like
and
a
everyone was like, "What?
like a
You're
real
not
Mayan?"
SOA?"
Oh.
And I
Yeah.
was like, "No, Mexican motherfucker." And I'm gonna walk around. Hell no.
You guys are on episode 4, right?
We are on episode 4.
You're
yes.
filming right now?
No.
No.
That's airing.
What's airing? Both of your guys' show is airing.
What channel is yours on?
Sci-fi.
Sci-fi.
What channel is that? What number?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Oh, damn. I got to set my VCR.
Yeah, and you can watch
Just
on
punch
in
in
demand, and
Sci-fi.
the past seasons, like season 1 and season 2, which where you enter season 2, is available on Hulu too. All right, so we end on the Rocks radio show with rapid fire, and you all are under.
Oh shit.
It's just
All right.
fun. It's not deep, dark, whatever. And then after you do your questions, you can tell our viewers where they can
Before
find you.
we go to rapid fire,
Yeah.
can I say one thing
Yes,
to
of
anybody
course.
listening? Please go vote. Please go vote.
Yes.
You have to vote. Okay, make a difference.
Please.
Stop whining and make a difference.
Por
Your vote
favor.
counts. Okay, get off your ass and go vote. Vote blue, 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 because the
Vote for
Republicans
love.
are raping us. They really are. Unless you part of the 1%, then keep voting Republican because you're one of the 1%. But if you're not, which most of us are not, vote blue. Okay.
Vote against
time to change.
Big
stuff.
corporations that want to control us.
I voted for Trump. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Oh my God! Oh, okay.
Oh, man.
I'm so glad this table's between us because oh my God.
And if you want to find out
I'm
about what he feels
totally
about
kidding.
Trump, come over to Pride Parade.
I dated a gay Republican, and he actually voted for Trump. I mean, I just don't even understand
a
it.
bizarre thing.
Don't even understand it.
Wow.
It's a bizarre
See,
thing.
that's crazy.
It doesn't even make sense.
Can't.
It's like meeting a Hispanic person who votes for Trump. Like, are you kidding
Yeah.
me? Or an African American that says Trump, and I'm like, really? Or a woman that votes for Trump. Any woman. I don't care what color you are. I go, are you serious?
Yeah.
Shame on Susan Collins. I'm from Maine. Shame
Oh,
on her.
yeah.
Shame on Susan
Shame
Collins.
on so many people.
And any
Well,
woman in power
yeah.
that didn't stand up for women's rights.
Actually-
I don't get it. I'm a
actually,
man.
you know
and
what?
I really
Shame
don't
on
get
the
it.
whole GOP because they're
because,
supporting
have
this
you ever-
man's agenda.
Well, shame on them all,
And
yeah.
they're not going against it. They're just staying quiet.
Yeah.
The whole Republican Party.
I agree.
F-U-C-K, all of you.
Except those that
That's a
listen to
fact.
On the Rocks radio.
Oh no, no,
show.
yes, no. If you're listening and you're one of the
I doubt
fans of
that you
Mayans,
have any of
if
them
you're one of
if
the
you do.
fans of Mayans MC, you're cool, dude. All right.
If you have them, it's like the whole Howard Stern thing where like they hate you so much that they want to listen to, so they can hate you more.
You guys,
but,
I watch
you know.
a lot of Fox News just to see how. Well, and I don't want to offend anybody, but like just to. Anyway, okay.
How do you do that like
I
thing
just
on the thing?
You gotta log into the app first.
He's on his Tinder. He's like, whoop, whoop,
He's officially a
He's
dad.
swiping.
He's like, where's
Official-
Shonda
that's an
Rhimes? She's
official
right
dad
upstairs.
move right there.
Yeah.
Is this how you do the live thing? Are we live? Oh no, we're not.
Make
You
sure
gotta- well,
while we
do you
figure
wanna
out
like
that.
this?
No, no, no. I wanted the live. No, no. I
Oh,
wanted the-
live.
Live.
Oh, I
Oh,
see. I
live
see what
Facebook.
you're. Okay,
I'll
okay.
send you
Easy.
the links. It's fine.
Let
Okay.
me see.
All right.
Live.
So we
There
have
you
to
go.
do.
Start your live
Is that okay?
And you're
okay,
starting. You want me to start it? I'm starting it right
Starting
now.
now. Starting now.
Starting.
Say hello. Is it fake?
It's checking
Oh,
connection.
we could go live on our
Okay.
own page too.
Checking
Yeah,
connection.
well, we gotta promote the show and promote
We're doing
everything
it
we're
right
doing.
now.
Yeah.
Is it
We're
all
live.
We're all
Is
live
it
on
facing
the
I'll
live?
send the link.
Yeah, you're live.
Hi guys, I'm here with Jennifer Cheo from Van Helsing. Tune in, it's really good. I saw a little piece on the computer. It looks freaking good. And I'm on the Mayans, you know, right? On the Mayans and CNFX, you know that, right? This is Antonio Jaramillo, you know that, right? I just want to make sure you know where the fuck I am. And then we're here on this radio on the Rocks.
On the Rocks with Alexander.
And then we have here.
Every man.
Hey, we're all on each other's.
We have,
Look at that.
We have our
Shit,
board
should I be live?
controller. Hey, show the board controller over
right.
here.
Kurt.
Here we go.
Kurt, you know,
So
he's so
much to
quiet.
trying to do so
and Lisa
much.
over there.
All right,
Say hello.
Antonio, I want your fans to see this. We're going to do rapid fire with you. You're
Oh my
first.
gosh.
Wait,
I don't know what to
how
do.
long does this last? Oh my
I
God,
have
people.
no idea.
Hi guys, we're
trying to
do it.
There we
okay,
go.
hi.
Rapid fire. Antonio, what is the strangest food that you eat that we would be like, you eat that?
Snakes.
Oh, okay. Biggest pet peeve you have as an actor on set?
No donuts.
Oh.
I go insane if there's no donuts.
Antonio, you have to audition for American Idol. What song are you auditioning with?
I am singing I'm singing a Stevie Wonder song.
Okay, go ahead and start it.
No, I don't know if I could.
Yes!
No, don't put me on the spotlight. The hell no, because I'm live right now. I can't do that.
Okay, what are your trailer must-haves that you have to have this on set with you in your trailer?
Fresh fruit everywhere on the floor.
Oh, I'll be there. Antonio, you've read a lot of the classics growing up. What is the literature piece, theater, novel, etc., that you would love to star in the movie version of?
Well, there's so many, but I like The Crucible. Arthur Miller, The Crucible.
Yes.
That's a good
I
one.
like
Good answer.
Ew.
Antonio,
Yeah.
tell our viewers and listeners where they can find you.
Well, my address?
Just your social security
I'm
number.
in Glendale and shit. What do you mean they can find me? They can
Your
find me.
Instagram, your Twitter, your website.
Oh, hi. My website is antoniojaramillo.com. And apparently it's still up, right? You saw
Yes,
it?
great clips, great
Whoa.
interviews, everything.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
And my page, my Twitter is that little A, and then Antonio JMLLO. And then the Instagram is official. Somebody made it official, not
It is
me.
very official.
And then there's a little line, official, and a little
Underscore.
underscore, and then Antonio, and then another little line, and then my last name, which is Jackson. So just say hello. Thank you so much for the love and support, and I'm here with these lovely people.
And make sure you watch the Mayans at 10 p.m. tonight, right after the show.
Yes.
Yes.
Say hello, woman.
Hola, woman.
She speaks
Yeah.
Spanish.
And spread love.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. How do I hang out? What do I hang up, or what happens here? Oh wait, I don't want to be rude. All these people. Hi. Wait, are we ending this?
Yes.
You can do it.
Keep it going. How long can it go for?
I have no idea.
All your life.
This can last as long as. Hi, all these people.
Rapid fire. Jennifer,
Yes.
you're up for rapid fire. Who is your dream co-star? Don't say Meryl Streep.
Oh no, it would probably have to. Oh gosh, J-Lo.
Oh, so you got your in now.
Text
You
her
have
right
your-
now. Can you imagine if you
Dude.
Yeah. Hold on, let me text her.
She's the reason.
Can you imagine? I would pass out die. Okay, so J-Lo. Okay. Biggest obstacle on the set of Van Helsing that you have as an actress? You're like, this is a challenge for me.
Bringing the human quality to a vampire.
Oh, that's a really good answer. Wow. Sorry, Alex. That was the best Van Helsing question that we've had. What is a horror film that you wish you could go back in time in and star in?
Wait. Did you say a
The Shining.
horror film?
Horror. Horror.
Oh, horror. I said horror. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the heck?
The Shining.
Oh, you would make that character like it would be more opposition than what it was. That's a really good one.
Totally.
Okay. What is your after a day of shooting? What is your ritual?
Go home and stuff my face. That's it.
When skinny people tell that, I just want to shut down and like move away.
Oh, don't worry.
When
I
skinny
eat
people tell you that they eat,
I
come
ju-
on.
No, I stuff my face. There's a lot of layers and a corset. I'm eating all the
I
time.
have a piece of lettuce. It's simply decadent. And it's like 2 pounds later. There goes my points for Weight Watchers. What is the strangest thing that Americans do that you wouldn't be caught dead doing in Vancouver?
Apparently voting for Trump.
Oh, that was a good answer.
Wow.
Jennifer, tell our viewers and listeners
True,
where they can find you.
You can find me outside the studio, I guess, in a minute. If not, you can find me in the virtual world at that little A symbol.
Oh, you have that too?
Yeah.
We all do it.
We all do it.
Sorry.
Oh, it's.
I know, it's not that original. Anyways, and when you have a name like Jennifer Chun, it's very hard to find something original with your name. So it's Jen Chun.
Two ends?
See what I did there?
2 ends or 1 end?
1 end, because
So
no
important.
one needs to spend that much time saying the name, you
oh.
know? It's
So
Jen.
let me wait. Hold on. Let me find
Yeah,
it.
follow her right now.
It's at
That's Twitter. Oh, yeah, you could find me on Twitter
Give me the-
at Jennifer
okay.
Chun.
Yes. And that's CHEON.
CHEON. No, don't go there. Go here.
Oh, girl, don't swipe on a woman's phone. You never know what you're going to see.
No,
Oh, no,
it's
this
my
is
phone.
his phone.
I'm trying to
I
connect
still don't
with
know
her.
what
It's
I'm
his
going
phone.
to say.
Oh, who knows what you were going to see?
There's one.
Okay.
All right, Everyman, you're up next.
All right, let's do it.
What is a dream venue that you haven't played yet?
I would say Red Rocks. Red Rocks in Colorado.
Oh, and why?
Amphitheater, because it's like an iconic venue for
awesome.
hip hop, and it's like made like carved out of the rocks there in Denver.
No,
Madison Square Garden too.
Yeah,
But,
well-
obviously.
Yeah. So Red Rocks. Now, when you show up to a hip hop event and you go on stage, they're like, "Wait, what?
I mean,
Have you had to deal with that opposition?
Honestly, I haven't, because I kind of have shied away from the actual like hip hop scene, because it's not what it used to be. Tribe Called Quest and Beastie Boys and De La Soul and all those classic acts like Nas and The Roots and all those guys, they still do shows, but what the hip hop scene is now is not what it used to be, and it's pretty negative and degrading to women, and all about
Say that again.
keeping the youth dumbed down and buying shitty products that they don't need and all this stuff. So
Consumerism.
I've been doing my best to try to. I take pride in having conscious lyrics that try to inspire you to be a better person, and I write songs that are lessons that I need to remember for myself, and that's why my artist name is Everyman, and that's where that comes from. It's an old morality play that I studied in theater school, and Everyman, it's a very literal allegory for this guy named Everyman. Death comes to him and says, "Everyman, it's your time to go," and Everyman says, "I'm not ready to go yet. Can I at least bring a friend with me?" And Death says, "Sure, you can bring a friend to the afterlife. I doubt anyone is going to want to go with you." And so Death brings
friends would
Everyman.
come with me.
Yeah, right? Well, that's the thing, is like he goes to his friend's possessions, his friend Goods, his friend Pride, Justice, and none of them will go with him. And then Death says, "All right, like, stop wasting my time. We got to go. I'm taking you to the afterlife." He says, "Can I ask one more friend, please?" And Death says, "Okay." And so he takes him to his friend Good Deeds, and Everyman says to Good Deeds, "Will you please come with me to the afterlife?" And he says, "Yes." And so Death takes Everyman and Good Deeds to the afterlife. And the moral of the story is, all that we can take with us when we leave here, this life and this body that we're in, is the good that we did in the world while we were here.
That's beautiful.
I love that.
Beautiful.
I hope Good Deeds was cute. Okay. What is the biggest
Super
mistakes? Super hot.
Wasn't that a movie with Adam? What's the name?
Sandler?
Yeah.
I think it was a
Good
take of
Deeds.
Everyman, but
I
Everyman
think it
was like a
was.
1700s.
Was that based on that? Because I love Adam Sandler. When you asked that question before, I was
You
like,
what?
he's my favorite.
It's almost like saying you voted for Trump. No.
What? Oh my God, I love Adam Sandler. Maybe it's a Jewish thing. I don't know.
It's you buying
it's a
the
Jewish
movie
thing.
I think
ticket.
it might be.
It's like today's
mean-
box office sale for Adam Sandler's new film was $29.99. It was your movie ticket.
Hey, if
It
I
was
could
you
be
and
as,
Good
as
Deeds.
successful as him, I would be doing
I'm
all
just
right for
teasing.
myself.
I'd love to cut to him in his car
Adam
or something
Sandler,
right now.
Adam Sandler, Jim Carrey.
Because he's driving for Uber right now.
Adam
So he's probably
Sandler.
like, what?
I'll go with Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey, I like.
Those
Jim
two
Carrey,
guys
I
are
like.
probably my
Comedian.
favorite
I like 'em.
two people.
Jim Carrey's doing that new show on Showtime called
I
Kidding.
still haven't
It's
seen
so
it. I really
odd.
want to see it, but
Is
honestly,
it?
like
I can't stop watching, but I
Those
don't know
guys
if I
are-
like it or not. Okay.
I love-
Rapid
I love
fire,
this.
rapid fire.
All right.
Biggest mistakes musicians make on stage.
It's fucking
Crowd surfing.
Biggest mistake musicians make on stage. I think taking pictures with their cell phones, like in selfies and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's kind of annoying.
It kind of fucking annoys me.
Yeah, it's like
Really? When they turn back and they do it to the
at the
audience,
end
it's
of the
really
show,
cool.
maybe like at the
end
end
of the
is
show.
cool. Like to get like a
Yeah, when
group
they get the whole
photo of
audience in
everyone.
the
That's
back, yeah.
cool because you like remember the moment. But like people who are like taking pictures while they're playing and stuff.
Oh, you mean like before
like
the show
perform.
ends?
Yeah.
Or like taking live
or like
footage
jumping
while
up
we're
on the
a
DJ
radio.
booth.
That's fun because fans love that.
Jumping on things or breaking things.
Yeah, breaking
or,
things
like,
would be my
Breaking
biggest
things.
pet peeve.
throwing
Totally.
things. Any sort of like negative interaction with the audience.
Yeah.
When I'm in the audience, I'm such an old man. I'm like, oh, how much did that guitar cost?
You know.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
just
and it's
weird
rude.
to me.
Yeah,
And it's
okay.
respect for the
Throwing
instrument.
water
Yeah,
at them,
yeah.
And the oh yeah.
Water
Yeah.
at the audience.
What is your pre-show ritual? Like when you know you're on in 30 minutes, what is it that you're doing to prepare for your set?
A lot of times I'll do a shakedown, which we used to do in theater school
Yeah,
in college.
we
like,
all used to- yep.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Mhm.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Totally.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6,
Yeah,
7, 8,
yeah,
9,
yeah,
10.
yep.
And you shake all their limbs, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then all the way down
Yep.
to 1, and gets you super energized.
Oh.
We should have done this before this show.
Right.
We should have.
Yeah, we should have had Alexander do it because man, he was like, very.
Yeah, I didn't have enough energy. You're right.
no.
The cocaine helps. Does it look like I do cocaine? When I go to a party and they're passing around on trays, I'm like, really? Doesn't look like I'm doing cocaine.
That's why I smoke a lot of weed, because people, if I don't, and it's like I'm on a lot of cocaine.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Interesting. What is the worst crowd that you ever played to that you were like, do I have to finish this set? We've all had that one awful experience that we're just like, oh.
It was trying to do a hip hop show, I think, for a crowd in Maine, in my hometown. Unfortunately, it was when I first started, and I thought I was like really crushing it, but I wasn't.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
sometimes we're so
but
unaware.
I think it was because I was doing well for where I was at that time in my mind. You know what I mean? As an artist, so I was like, that was really good for me then. Looking back on it now, I'm like, ooh.
Does your city show
Thank
you
God
a lot
no
of love now?
Not a ton, but a good
What's
amount.
with that in city, like
It's
hometown?
so weird
It's
because
very
they've
weird.
seen you and they know you're like, oh, well, they're from here. They can't.
Right?
I think a
That
lot of people just don't
haterness?
take you
Yeah.
seriously
Like,
when
what's
they
up
know
with
you.
that?
It happened to
it's-
Jesus.
and my best
Which
friends,
one, the white one or the? I can't.
I know.
my best friends from
there's
childhood.
more than one?
His
There's
little
just one
sister
Jesus.
is Anna
Many
Kendrick,
versions.
and she gets a lot of love at home. But then if you do something wrong, then your hometown will like attack you
It's
about
so
it.
weird. It's it's haterade. It's like, well, just because you didn't
it
do.
depends. I'm not
Totally.
that quite that status yet. Not even close.
I've seen the crowds you performed for.
Well,
Yes.
well,
It's-
thanks,
it's
but I
pretty
mean
impressive.
not Anna Kendrick status. So, but back home, she didn't want to talk to one of the stations, I think, for an interview once, and they snubbed her on the local NBC station.
They didn't snub her for Pitch Perfect 3?
That cup song
man.
I just did.
Yes, it's so difficult.
That's the only one I saw.
That was his mind's
but I liked it.
audition. They're like, can you do the cup song?
Can you do the cup song?
I really like cheesy
I actually, when I
movies a
first
lot.
came in, my audition
Yeah.
was I
Yeah.
pretended to be a motorcycle. That was my audition.
Because they had you read every character, right? They're like, here's
they
this
had
character.
me read
that's
every
just like-
character.
So you
the
what, did you go-
No, the last time I went in, because I read like 6 different roles. So the last time I went in, I just pretended to be a motorcycle.
Was that
I went,
exhausting? Was it exhausting in the end? Was that exhausting in the end?
Yes. Kurt
And then
did
they go,
that one.
and then that got me the part. But yeah, that was good because they said that was a pretty good moped.
I'd be a golf cart. Okay, last rapid fire. Most embarrassing song on your playlist?
Most embarrassing song on my playlist. That's a tough one. I would say Two Princes by Spin Doctors, probably.
I don't even know what that is, but
Yeah,
it sounds
I don't-
awful.
That's
I don't.
Princess who adore you.
Oh,
What I
yeah.
said now.
Da, 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 da,
I
da.
really like that
Dun, dun, dun.
song. I'm a sucker for a little Two Princes action, but
All right, another episode of On the Rocks has come and gone. You guys, what a fun, interesting night of
Thank you
conversation,
for having
fellowship,
us
and
so
storytelling.
much.
You guys, coming up, we have actors from the CW. We also have Bravo TV is invading us. So stay tuned. And also, I'll see you in Palm Springs for Palm Springs Pride. Thank you guys.
Yeah.
And right when you're done watching watching this, you're going to go and you're going to watch Mayans on FX tonight because our friend,
10
Mr.
p.m.
Antonio, has some special moments tonight.
Yes, I do. The people on the East Coast have already seen it,
Yep.
so they know what happened.
They
but
can
don't-
watch it again because FX plays it over again.
Oh, okay. Watch it again, but no spoilers. Don't tell the people on the West Coast.
No spoilers.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. See you next Tuesday.
Much love.
Bye.
Thanks.
This has been On the Rocks with Alexander every Tuesday at 7 p.m. on Universal Broadcasting Network. Find me on Facebook on The Rocks Radio Show. Tweet me or Instagram me at On The Rocks On Air. See you next Tuesday.